watching for us at Loftus Road is Charlotte Richardson.
Yes, good evening, Kelly. QPR makes 4 changes this evening. A welcome return to the starting 11 for the influential Chris Wilcox, Sam Field, Johan Barbet and Albert Adaman, whilst the visitors Middlesbrough bouncing into West London after their FA Cup heroics at Old Trafford make just 1 change. Chris Wilder elects to start with Duncan Watmore, whilst Riley McGree is named on the bench for the first time since his January move. The visitors have just lost once of their 11 in all competitions and will be looking for just their 5th win on the road to give them a nudge into the playoff positions and gain valuable ground on their hosts, who currently sit 4th and have aspirations of their own to pick up 3 points this evening, which could see them squeeze into the top 2 by the end of the evening.
Charlotte, thanks very much. Looking forward to updates throughout the night from that one, and we're going to head to Bramall Lane next. Sheffield United welcome West Brom and their new boss Steve Bruce. His first game in charge, his 1001st match in management. But Naz Premji, it could be a tough debut.
It could well be. You've just stolen the line. His 12th managerial role, I was going to say, his 11th club, West Brom, looking to get that promotion push back on track, Kelly. They're looking for a Brucey bonus. The new manager returns as well to the scene of his first ever managerial role 24 years ago. 1998 was the year he took the reins here at Sheffield United. As you say, United in excellent form under Paul Heckingbottom, looking for 4 wins on the spin. Both sides make 4 changes, for Sheffield United, George Baldock, David McGoldrick, Jack Robinson and Conor Hurahan return. Steve Bruce's first lineup sees Sam Johnston restored in goal. Adam Reach, Semi Ajayi and Grady Diangana all return to the starting 11 as well.
Thank you very much for that, Nez. We'll also keep you up to date with all the other games in Championship. All kick off at 7:45. Elsewhere, Bristol City take on Reading, who are looking to get a little bit further from the relegation places. Preston take on Huddersfield themselves, aiming for promotion. Cardiff City take on Peterborough. So we'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening there, and it's a busy night across Scotland. Again, we'll just tell you about all the goals as they go in. We are in place with the Premiership's top 2, though. They're separated by just a point after the Old Firm game last week. Leaders Celtic are unbeaten in 15 across all competitions. They're at Aberdeen, and so is Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, good evening, Kelly. This is 7th against 1st, Aberdeen against Celtic. Aberdeen are 4 games without a win in the league, 2 points from a possible 12 recently for Stephen Glass's Dons. Celtic, on the other hand, are a juggernaut, as you hinted. They put 3 past Rangers last midweek and 4 past Motherwell on Sundays. 3 changes for Aberdeen. In come former Celtic captain Scott Brown into the Aberdeen midfield, as do Dylan McGeoch and Declan Gallagher come in as well. 2 changes for Celtic. In come Matt O'Reilly, the former MK Dons midfielder, and their Portuguese forward Jota. Out go Tom Rogic and Georgios Giacomakis drop to the bench. Aberdeen haven't beaten Celtic at Pittodrie for 6 years.
Thank you very much for that, Kenny. And Rangers welcome Hibs to Ibrox. Good evening, Roddy Forsyth.
Good evening, Kelly. And Rangers demolished one Edinburgh side on Sunday when they sent Hearts back to the capital on the end of a 5-0 hammering, and Hibs don't want to be travelling the M8 in a similar state tonight. So Sean Maloney's made 4 changes to the team, which lost at home to St Mirren. Macy McGinn, Doig and Henderson all come in to brace the Easter Road side for their encounter with a Rangers team who've only made 1 switch. Kamara's in for the injured Ryan Jack, on an evening when the home fans will have an eye on events on the pitch and 1 ear on the action with Kenny Crawford at Pittodrie.
Thank you very much, Roddy. We're going to head back now to Tottenham. Tottenham against Southampton is our commentary match here on 5 Live. Jonathan Woodgate and John Murray are there. Jonathan, we talked about Tottenham, about what their aims are, about their chances of reaching Europe next season. What about Southampton? They look fairly comfortable in mid-table, but not quite close enough to challenge for the European places. So what do you think they're playing for?
Kelly, at the minute, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. At the minute, they are comfortable, but that can change at the blink of an eye. You could go 4 games without a win, and you soon start getting sucked back down, looking over your shoulder. So I'd say these players need to keep on winning games and getting results on the road to then be really safe. But at the minute, they aren't safe for me.
Do you think defensively is where they need to improve? They haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 11 Premier League matches.
No, well, that's what they need to do. But they're playing against 2 world-class forwards today, and I think there's going to be goals in this game. I think they could be getting beat. It'll be a comfortable game, I think, for Spurs. Because I think they'll have that class. They'll have Antonio Conte on the side. of the pitch going absolutely mental at everything. The atmosphere will be up, so I think it's going to be a difficult night for them.
Yeah, it's a much more familiar starting lineup for Southampton. They make those 10 changes from the FA Cup game, but then Coventry took them to extra time in that one. But for Tottenham, their ambitions are much higher. They've got the new signings on the bench, so it's not just now about what Tottenham's starting 11 can do. They have options now as well.
Well, they have the two players that they brought in, Kulusevski and Bentancur, brought him in from Juventus. Bentancur, apologies for that, but he's a really, really good player. He'll play in the centre of the pitch. He's more defensive, but he's fantastic on the ball, takes it under pressure. A real top player they've got.
Yeah, and by the look of him, we're going to be talking about him a lot more. So we're going to be able, those names will trip off our tongue by the end of the season, particularly if Tottenham do manage to make it to the Champions League places. They start this evening then in 7th place in the table, but they have a real opportunity because they have all of those games in hand. So Tottenham against Southampton is our commentary match here on 5 Live. Manchester City take on Brentford. That one is on Sports Extra. Norwich are up against Crystal Palace as Norwich try to get out of the relegation places. That one is on the BBC Sport website, and all 3 of those games are 7:45 kickoffs. 8 o'clock kickoff for Aston Villa against Leeds, and that one again is on the BBC Sport website. But of course we'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening across the Scottish Premiership and across the Championship today. But now we're going to hand over to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for commentary of Tottenham against Southampton with Jonathan Woodgate and John Murray.
Yes, thank you very much, Kelly. Welcome everyone inside the Tottenham Stadium. The side's just lining up for the start of the match. Tottenham unchanged from the weekend, so I think that tells you all you need to know about how Antonio Conte felt about the performance against Brighton at the weekend. So Lloris in goal, Christian Romero, Sanchez and Davis, the 3 central defenders, Emerson Royal and Reguilon, the wing-backs, Winks and Højbjerg in the middle, then Lucas Moura, Son Heung-min and Harry Kane. In contrast, Ralph Hasenhüttl makes 10 changes from their FA Cup game at the weekend, but it is very similar to the side that took on and got a draw against Manchester City last time they played in the Premier League. And indeed, it is 2.5 weeks since these two sides played a league match. There's the whistle. David Coote blows it. The players, after taking a knee, back up on their feet. It's Southampton who kick off, and the ball immediately hit down the left-hand side and out of play for a throw-in to Spurs, who are in their white shirts, dark blue shorts and dark blue socks, against Southampton, who are in the yellow and blue tonight. The yellow bodies to the shirts, blue sleeves, royal blue shorts and yellow and blue socks. And the Southampton team then is Forster in goal. It's a 4-4-2. So Walker-Peters, Bednarek, Salisu and Perrault. In midfield, Elyounoussi, Ward-Prowse, Romeo and Stuart Armstrong. And then Armando Broja and Shea Adams up front. And that's the good news, I think, from the team news for Southampton, Jonathan Woodgate, the fact that their top scorer, Armando Broja, who had a knee injury, picked up a knee injury in the Cup at the weekend, is fit to play.
Massive boost for Southampton. He's been a great signing from Chelsea this season. You know, he's done exceptionally well, especially for someone so young. He's their talisman up front, and when he gets chances, he puts them away. He's a handful to play against.
And he's looking better every time you see him, I feel. Throw into Southampton down the left-hand side. In fact, let's go to Norwich first. Aaron Paul.
Timo Pukki has lifted the roof off this stadium, John. He's put Norwich City ahead. Brilliant run down the left by Milot Rashica. The ball just touched the Pukki, who fired in off the post past the goalkeeper Vicente Guaita. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 0.
What a start for Norwich. 1-0 up, and there are signs of life as Southampton play the ball over the top. But Lloris is going to just watch it behind. Shea Adams was closest to it. Lloris slid down onto his knees, but the ball was behind, and it's a goal kick. Jonathan Woodgate.
That's what they'll do, Southampton. They will chase absolutely everything, especially with the two up front. They'll chase it, they'll press. That is how they play. They love to play. They're on the front foot. They're right up against you.
Yeah, interesting. I was talking to our colleagues from Radio Solent who see Southampton every game, and there was a lot of enthusiasm about the youngsters and the youthful energy that there is in this current Southampton side, even though they are in 12th place in the Premier League against Tottenham, who are in 7th but have got game or games in hand against all the teams above them in the Premier League. And it's Southampton in possession in the centre circle with Salisu, who plays it out to the left-hand side to Romain Perrault. who is one of the summer signings. They didn't sign anyone in January, at least for a transfer fee. Willie Caballero came in, or had his contract extended. But Perrault, one of the summer arrivals. And it'll be interesting to see what happens this summer, bearing in mind there is now new majority ownership at Southampton. Lloris clearing from the ground into the Southampton half, which is headed up and forward by the Polish central defender Bednarek, then Ben Davies, left-footed back over the halfway line to Harry Kane, who I think we can say is in form again. Romeo playing the ball to the left-hand side though, and it's Southampton who come forward with El Yunusi. Right-footed ball killed into the back post. Adams is there, and Lloris makes the save. Really good save inside the 6-yard box. He went for it on the side foot, and he hit it straight at Lloris, who spread himself and kept it out.
Got to score. Got to score. It just hit Lloris. Shea Adams has to do better there. It's a huge, huge chance for Shea Adams there to bury that and be 1-0 up for Southampton.
Southampton coming again. What a chance that was to take an early lead here, and it's the Southampton supporters. You can hear it's been a good start for them. Here they come again. Another ball in from El Yunusi, right-footed on the left-hand side, but this one's cleared away on the edge of the box.
If you watch Shea Adams' movement there, you can see he's just pulling on the back of Ben Davies. It's difficult to mark because his timing's very good, and the ball over the top to him is even better.
So that is the first big chance of the match. Shea Adams in the 6-yard box, and he tried to cushion it, really, the effort. It was a great delivery by El Yunusi as well. Picked them out perfectly as Emerson Royal is blocked by Romeo, and it's a free kick to Spurs on the far side, halfway inside their own half.
If you look at the centre half of Romeo as well, remember Roberto Ayala used to play for Valencia. He reminds me exactly of him. Front foot defender, really gets tight to his centre forward. He's going to be a top player for Spurs. I really like what I've seen of him so far.
So that is Jonathan Woodgate with us here, high in the superb commentary position that we have in the Tottenham Stadium. Jonathan, you'll always be welcome here, won't you, as the man who last scored a winning goal in a cup final for this club.
But if I keep on saying things about Harry Kane, I want to leave, and I won't be.
No, well, listen, it was interesting. I watched a bit of Harry Kane in the build-up. You know, he is such a... He certainly cuts the figure of being such a hungry pro.
You can see that. I look at it as form's temporary, class is permanent, and he'll show that for the rest of the season.
7 goals in his last 11 appearances, Harry Kane. So 15 goals now for Spurs this season in all competitions. So he's only scored 5 in the Premier League, 15 in all competitions, another 10 for England. So that's actually 25 for club and country this season. And scored 2 of the goals against Brighton in the FA Cup on Saturday night. And he was very pleased when he spoke to our colleague George Cummins after the match here inside the stadium the other evening, as the ball goes back to Lloris, the goalkeeper. Left-footed ball to the halfway line. Let's go to Roddy Forsyth, who has news on Rangers.
Yes, and a penalty kick for Rangers after Kent was brought down. James Tavernier striking it and scoring. Not the first Tavernier to have scored in the last few days. His little brother did it for Middlesbrough against Manchester from the spot too, but Rangers are leading Hibs 1-0.
Yes, I was watching him on Friday night. So we'll keep you across all of the football tonight. 6 matches in the Premiership in Scotland, lots of games in the Championship, and indeed the Premier League. And here's Walker Peters against his old club into the box for Southampton. Crosses, took a deflection, looped it up in the air, only half-headed away, but the clearance is completed. But it's helped back into the box, but Emerson Royal will allow that to run. But I don't think it's going to run over the dead ball line. No, it's not. Adams is all over the back of him, so Emerson Royal has to take it out towards the far side. He's given it to Romeo, who's 35 yards out, then square to Ward Prowse. Ward Prowse then square again to Walker Peters. He lifts the ball up towards the back post. That headed away rather awkwardly by Emerson Royal, who rather misjudged it, but then is fortunate actually to be able to win a throw-in off El Yunusi.
Armstrong's caused them major problems by just tucking inside, not playing wide, but just tucking inside Reguilon, and he's finding it difficult to mark him.
Yes, so it is Armstrong, effectively on the right-hand side, but as you say, Jonathan,
playing more inside.
And so is El Yunusi on the other side as well. Here's Son. He's hardly been in the game so far. Son Heung-min, but Salisu comes across, gets the ball first and puts it out of play. So it is 0-0. Tottenham 0, Southampton 0. Southampton should be in front. They did draw at St Mary's, remember, 6 weeks ago. Both clubs are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, so they could meet again yet this season. And Southampton playing the ball back to Fraser Forster in the goal to our left, and very nearly charged down, closed down by Harry Kane. He had to be quick there, Fraser Forster, all in sort of purpley pink, and he passes the ball out of play via a deflection off Kane for a throw into Southampton halfway inside their own half.
I tell you what's great to see, it's great to see two managers sticking to what they believe in formation types, with Ranieri and Conte. Spurs playing that formation of 3-4-3 and Southampton playing that 4-4-2. Normally if you come to a place like Tottenham, managers try to match them up, but it's good to see that sticking to the principles and the beliefs.
And I think as well, funny enough, the same thing crossed my mind before the game, having seen all of the Tottenham-Chelsea games recently, where Tuchel and Conte, it felt like they tried to outmaneuver each other, and there was a change of formation, I think, for each team in every game. And yet Ralph Hasen, who has come here, you know Tottenham are going to play 3 central defenders, but he said no, we're going to play 4-4-2.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, and they're doing good at the minute.
They are, and here is Tottenham with Christian Romero in the middle, plays the ball through into the centre circle. Here's Lucas Moura off and running, and then he's clipped by Stuart Armstrong, who comes in, just sort of takes him out, as Lucas Moura was really pressing on the accelerator there. So he went sprawling, and referee Coote, who I think could have shown a yellow card there, decides not, and it's just a telling off.
The movement of Moura there to take on the back foot and really accelerate. He looks dangerous when he drops it in them little pockets. You see him there straight on the back foot and charging towards the Southampton defence.
We've got all of the Premier League matches, commentary on all of it, as the free kick is taken short. Kane has a goal from 35 yards. It was a dipper, but it was straight at Forster, and it bounced up into his midriff. So still Tottenham 0, Southampton 0 here in North London. So yes, we're bringing you commentary this midweek, last night, tonight, tomorrow night, on all 9 of the Premier League matches that are taking place. So if you want Manchester City Brentford, it's on Sports Extra right now on your digital radio via BBC Sounds. Seb Hutchinson and Michael Brown with the commentary, but Gary Flintoff is there to update us.
No goals so far, John, although to be fair to Brentford, the visitors have been very bright getting bodies into the City half. In fact, at times leaving just 2-on-2 at the back. Only one chance of the game so far, Phil Foden heading wide from a Kevin De Bruyne cross. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0.
Norwich Crystal Palace, you'll be able to hear the commentary online, so the BBC Sport website and app, but Aaron Paul has the news for us.
On Crystal Palace now, Norwich probing down that left-hand side, causing Joel Ward at fullback all sorts of problems in the Crystal Palace backline. Palace have had an opportunity. Jean-Philippe Mateta playing a tame effort straight into the arms of Angus Gunn. Carrow Road very much alive. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Yeah, and it was great to hear Jeremy Goss, who's part of the commentary team online, talking to Kelly in the build-up to the game. And likewise, Aston Villa Leeds is online, so the BBC Sport website and app for the commentary on that. It kicks off at 8 o'clock. 0-0 here at Tottenham, and Spurs bringing the ball forward from the back. Here's one for Son to chase through the middle. A challenge from Bednarek, just got there first, lifted the ball high down into the Southampton right-back position. Stuart Armstrong is there, and he's able to get a touch on it to put it out of play ahead of Sergio Reguilon, who will take the throw quickly. Ward-Prowse is there on the corner of the 6-yard box to head it away, the Southampton captain. And then the former Southampton captain, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, gets to the ball first in the centre circle. Here's Harry Winks. He's been given a run in the team at the moment. Harry Winks, Tottenham's number 8. This is his 6th successive start in all competitions. Oliver Skipp currently on the injured list, like Eric Dyer. Ball played out to the right-hand side by Christian Romero. Now Emerson Royal carrying it infield. Then it comes back centrally. Højbjerg is just leaned into by Romeo, and that is a free kick. So it's a free kick to Spurs in a good position out towards the right-hand side. Other goals to tell you about in a moment. Cardiff have gone 1-0 up. I'll give you the news on that in a moment. The screen's just gone funny, as they say in the technical world. But we've got this free kick to look at, Jonathan.
If you look at the shape of the Spurs team as well, they basically attack with 5, defend with 5. The 2 wing-backs stay really high and wide. The 2 inside forwards, Son and Moura, come tight next to Kane. They have the 2 behind it, then the 3 central defenders. They'll be hard to break down on the counter-attack, but it's great to see how they keep the width as well with the wing-backs.
Son to deliver the free kick, and it goes, and it's headed in! Christian Romero was there! sliding in on his knees to score his first goal for Tottenham, or so he might have thought. But the offside flag is up and the goal's ruled out.
Yeah, the lines were up a bit late, to be honest with you. I thought it was a late call. I thought it was a good run by Romeo in the first place. It was a great block inside the box. But yeah, it looks like it's offside. He's gone slightly too early, a yard too early. But at least he was in there wanting to attack the ball. That's what centre-halves need to do in both boxes. Can you get your team a goal?
So it is still Tottenham 0, Southampton 0. And it was the right decision, and we didn't need VAR. Flag was up, linesman got it right, and so it is a free kick to Southampton. It's interesting, actually. I don't know whether you caught it over the course of the last couple of days at the Club World Cup, in which Chelsea are through to the final. By the way, they won earlier in the semi-final against Al Hilal. They are trialling the new offside rule that they're going to use, the robotic offside system, the VAR, which is like the Hawkeye system. They're trialling it at this tournament, and the plan is to use it at the World Cup.
That'll be interesting
in the autumn.
That goes compared to the VAR.
Well, exactly. Well, I mean,
similar.
It's still part of Southampton. Play the ball out towards the right-hand side. Walker Peters gets the ball down in the full-back position, plays it back for the ball crossed in by Ward-Prowse. That's headed away by Davis. Now Stuart Armstrong again, back towards Ward-Prowse on the right-hand side for Southampton, and he goes back into the centre circle. Yeah, the thing about it is, Jonathan, it's much faster. That's what they say. So for an offside call, it's much faster, and there won't be the lines on the pitch. Walker Peters challenged on the edge of the Tottenham box by Son, and then Tottenham have it on the left-hand side. Reguilon plays it infield for Højbjerg. Højbjerg's given it away.
It's 20 hours.
His former teammate Ward-Prowse. So Southampton, who've made a decent start to this game, is Stuart Armstrong again in a central position. Nice. Left-footed, out towards the left-hand side. Perraud is there. Now the cross from El Yunusi. Adams inside the penalty area. Shoulder to shoulder with Romero. The two of them shuttered into one another. They both stood up, and Romero was able to clear it away, but they haven't completely got it away until Emerson Royal was fouled, and it's a free kick.
Emerson Royal needs to get closer. He needs to stop the cross. It's coming into each from that side, but what I did like about Romero there, how strong was he? How strong was he there in the shoulder barge?
Now, you and I were watching Nottingham Forest, weren't we, on Sunday, watching Jed Spence, and a friend of mine was saying, since I last saw you, was saying, he said, with Tottenham, who were interested in Spence, and he was saying, they spent 25.8 million pounds on Emerson Royal. Here's Son to Kane. Kane puts it across. Reguilon must score. No, it's saved by Forster. He was 8 yards out, and Forster slid out, stuck out a left hand, and blocked it with his left arm, and that should have been 1-0 to Tottenham.
Forster filled the goal. He filled that goal and made it so difficult for Reguilon there. He really did. What a ball across from Kane. How he saw that pass. It wasn't just a pass, it was the weight of the pass, the timing of the pass. But what a save by Forster.
So one big clear chance each. So it should be 1-1.
Should be 1-1. The chances have been glorious.
How much space did Reguilon have there as he was arriving inside the penalty area, incidentally?
That's the thing playing with wing-backs, because Walker Peters is all the way across, so Reguilon will always be free if he stays high and wide.
And Ralph Hasenhüttl is just having a little word with Kyle Walker Peters. Actually, the ball's on the other side of the field, but just...
Walker Peters seems to be going too narrow, and Hasenhüttl will be saying that to him now, don't go too narrow, because Reguilon will be in if the ball gets switched quickly.
Ball's out of play. Tottenham throw deep inside their own half. Tottenham 0, Southampton 0. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Listen as well on the move on BBC Sounds with your device, or indeed rewind the live radio. Lots of live football tonight. As I say, let's get the latest on Aberdeen Celtic with Kenny Crawford.
16 minutes gone, the league leaders are in front. Aberdeen 0, Celtic 1, and the goal scorer is the Portuguese forward Jota. A ball over from the right hand side. None of the Aberdeen defenders wanted to claim it, and Jota was there at the back post to stab it in from a tight angle. Aberdeen 0, Celtic 1.
Yeah, the still relatively new leaders, Celtic, going for 8 wins in a row tonight. They're underway at Villa Park. Aston Villa leads. Lee Blakeman.
2 minutes gone, John. Villa should be ahead. Corner from the Villa left, header by Mains. Great save at his near post by Meslier. Opening few minutes lively though. Villa 0, Leeds 0.
Tottenham 0, Southampton 0, but we should really have goals in this game. Lucas Moura playing it through. Ball played across by Højbjerg. Son's there at the near post, and he's managed to get a touch on it. Might have come off the defender as well, but Forster was wrong-footed in the 6-yard box. The ball's in the net, and it is Tottenham 1, Southampton 0.
The run down the side of the Southampton defenders there, they couldn't cope with it. It was in between Salisu and Bednarek, and I think it was Bednarek who put it in an own goal. I really do. He just got the wrong side of him, and he needs to think of his position better. He can't be facing his own goal to put the ball into his own net.
Yeah, Bednarek was right in there with Son. Whether Son got a touch or not, it felt like it was the deflection off Bednarek that caused it to go into the back of the net. Yeah, an outstretched leg from Bednarek, who was under pressure from Son. And yeah, he's got a touch on that, the Polish defender. It's an own goal.
If he drops slightly deeper, slightly earlier, he puts that in rosette. He doesn't go with his right leg, he goes with his left and puts it out of play. He just goes slightly too late.
So it is Tottenham 1, Southampton 0, and we do now have a goal, but Southampton have won the ball back from Emerson Royal, and now Elyounoussi had two options, but he went for goal from the byline near the post, and it's deflected behind by Lloris for a corner, and Southampton could easily have equalised there.
He has to square it to Broja, he has to square it. It's a massive opportunity there. But again, Lloris makes his goal big, but he has to square it to score.
So it is a corner to Southampton. Southampton with Ward-Prowse in that James Ward-Prowse style. Just gets the ball, bounces it a couple of times on the ground, leaning over. Won't deliver it yet because referee Koot is talking to Breuer and a couple of the Tottenham defenders. Here's the delivery from Ward-Prowse into the near post, takes a flick, might have got a double flick actually, one from each side, which carried it all the way across to this side of the field, the Tottenham left, and they'll look to counter-attack now. Harry Kane hits a long pass, this is for Lucas Moura at the chase, he is sprinting, full tilt after it. Southampton have got 3 men back, the ball's bounced out towards the right-hand side. Lucas Moura plays it infield towards Højbjerg. Højbjerg with Stuart Armstrong next to him. Lucas Moura again, little ball in. Emerson Royal's there as well. Groans from the Tottenham supporters because they rather carelessly gave it away. Southampton have got it back inside their own half. An opening goal of the night now at Bournemouth. Chris Wise.
And it's come for the host. Bournemouth 1, Birmingham 0. Ryan Christie's got it. He hit the crossbar initially. The ball was recycled. Philip Billing pulled it back. Christie calmly turned it in. So a good response to that FA Cup debacle at the weekend. Bournemouth 1, Birmingham 0.
Cardiff took the lead against Peterborough through Joe Roll's goal, by the way. Back to Aberdeen, Celtic, Kenny Crawford.
It's looking like plain sailing for the visitors. Aberdeen 0, Celtic 2. Matt O'Reilly signed from MK Dons during the January transfer window. Deflected shot from outside the box. Aberdeen 0, Celtic 2.
Ward-Prowse with the effort here, which Lloris dives to it right and pushes round the foot of the post. The shot from 25 yards from the Southampton captain.
There's not many better than James Ward-Prowse from outside the box. His technique is second to none in the Premier League. It really is. And what a save by Lloris down to his right-hand side.
So it's another corner. Very good save by Lloris. I think it came through a crowd of players. Ward-Prowse's corner into the near post, which is headed up and behind by Christian Romero. So it is a second consecutive Southampton corner. It is Kilmarnock 1, Ayr United 1, Inverness 0, Partick 1. And here's the latest corner into the near post, which is headed away, comes out for a shot from Stuart Armstrong on the edge of the area. On the volley, it was dropping in front of him, and he hit it so sweetly, but maybe 3 feet wide.
I thought the net was about to ripple. I think we both did, didn't we, John? We thought that was in, and what a volley that was, by the way. The technique on that as well from Armstrong. What a strike.
If he'd been able to get that on target, that would have been in the net.
It'd have burst the net.
Hearts have taken the lead against Dundee, bottom of the table Dundee. Ellis Sims has scored that one. And
pressing from Spurs, he was phenomenal, high up the pitch. Really is, really on the front foot.
Tottenham under Antonio Conte, unbeaten at home in the Premier League. They've lost 4 matches so far under Antonio Conte's management in his first 17 games, and 3 of them have been against Chelsea.
a top team in Chelsea. They're always going to find it difficult.
Yeah,
really are.
Southampton, this is nice. Coming forward, El Yunusi now on the edge of the box, but and a slip inside the area by Davis. That's given Southampton a chance here. It's crossed from the left-hand side. So Tottenham have half cleared it. Now Perrault on the left. And it's in! It's deflected in! Breuer was there in the middle. And he races away. And Tottenham's defenders are looking at one another. But Southampton have got the goal. And it's Breuer who's got it. 1-1.
Do you know, sometimes in football, you just have to hit the stand. You just have to hit the stand and get it out of the danger area. Spurs make a mess of that. They could have cleaned it at least 3 or 4 times. Hit Rose Head, get up the pitch. They didn't. They dallied around with it 2 or 3 times. Southampton deserve to be 1-1.
Really, there, both Emerson Royal and before that, I mean, it was an unfortunate slip by Ben Davis initially, but Perrault on the left-hand side. And Breuer, 10 yards out, just was able to stab a right foot at it and found the back of the net.
That is a great finish, because that comes at him so quick. What a finish, because that ball is really pinged into him there, and he just hits it with the side of his foot. It's a fantastic finish.
Sheffield United are in front against West Brom. And in fact, I think we can hear from Naz Premji, who is there.
Yes, Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0. Billy Sharp, lovely ball in from Baldock. Billy Sharp turned in the box and fired it past Sam Johnston. Not the best start, although West Brom has been really bright under Steve Bruce. They trail here. Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0.
Corner to Tottenham, responding to having just conceded the goal. There's a red smoke bomb that's been let off here as well. Southampton fans are holding the ball. Now, you and I saw Nottingham Forest on Sunday in the FA Cup, so impressive. Before the match, I was saying to you tonight, Jonathan, I wonder how they're going to do tonight. They're at Blackburn, and Stephen Wyeth.
They're doing very nicely right about now. They've just got in front a goal of high quality. Keenan Davis with both power and poise to take him through the Blackburn defence, and with the awareness to slide the ball into the feet of James Garner, who composed himself before beating Kaminski comfortably. It is Blackburn 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
Tottenham have eventually got the ball back, and here comes the corner into the near post, but the referee's blown his whistle, because at the very point the corner was going to be taken, you know it, don't you? The Southampton fans threw the original ball back onto the field, so therefore we'll have to have it retaken by Reguilon.
They don't keep the ball for a souvenir, then shot it back on the pitch. Just put it in your jumper.
Reguilon to take this. This is the real corner for Tottenham. Left footed into the near post. Forster comes, gets a left fist to it, and then it's cleared away inside the area. I think Walker Peters might have been fouled in there. In fact, no, it's not given that as a free kick. It's a throw into Tottenham on the left. But we're going to go to Villa Park. Lee Blakeman
leads ahead. Aston Villa 0, Leeds 1. Dan James, after a Mings error on the edge of the area, hard and low, across goal, bottom corner, no chance for Martinez. Great finish from James. Aston Villa 0, Leeds 1.
Tottenham take the throw on the left-hand side. Reguilon back towards Kane on the left wing, passing it back towards the halfway line, and then Christian Romero in the centre circle to Emerson Royal. Left footed ball high across field. Stuart Armstrong's underneath that, but he's headed it straight to Reguilon. Reguilon now has Ben Davis on the overlap down the left-hand side. Ben Davis's ball into the near post comes off Ward-Prowse, which is deflected back to Fraser Forster, who was quick along the dead ball line, but not quick enough because it was behind its corner.
No, he done well there, Fraser Forster. He just couldn't quite get to it. If he just moved slightly quicker, he couldn't. But Spurs are trying, sometimes getting the 2v1s down the sides, because Armstrong is tucking right in, so it's Reguilon's making the most of that avenue down the side.
Corner then, Son to take this, just back from injury. Corner to the back post is caught. Little bit of a juggle for Fraser Forster with his defender Salisu in front of him, but he's got it safely at the second attempt, and gives it out for Southampton to come forward to the halfway line. Let's see how things are going with the leaders against struggling Brentford. Gary Flintoff.
Well, Brentford have conceded the opening goal, John, in 15 of their last 16 games, but they are holding out 0-0 here at Manchester City, as you would expect. The home side dominating possession and the corner count, but have not created anything clear-cut. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0.
Perrault cross from the left-hand side for Southampton. It's headed away by Reguilon. Stuart Armstrong has got it back. Going to go back to Carroll Road in a moment or two, but Southampton parked inside the the Tottenham half. Son puts a challenge in, the ball bounces away into Southampton territory. So back to Aaron Paul in Norfolk.
Crystal Palace 0, John. Twice Teemu Pukki now has come close to a second for the Canaries. Milot Rashica, though, involved in everything good Norwich do. He squared the ball to Pukki, he drove into the area, and you'd have put your money on him to score. He took far too long, and there was Tyrick Mitchell with a goal-scoring tackle just as Pukki went to pull the trigger. Palace, they're struggling with the speed at which Norwich break at. Will Zaha's dragged a shot wide from them. It does, however, remain Norwich 1, Crystal Palace now.
Still 1-1 here at Tottenham. 5 Live and BBC Sounds on another busy night of football for you. And Southampton with Elyounoussi on the left-hand side. Ball is played in towards Ward-Prowse. Square from him. Here's Walker-Peters in good goal-scoring form at the moment, the right back. Crosses into the back post. That's headed away by Emerson Royal. Comes out. Elyounoussi turns again. Gives the ball to Perrault on the left-hand side. His cross. That's dangerous. Looking for Broja. But he was closely enough watched by Ben Davis, who put in the challenge, and the ball just looped in the air for Lloris to catch.
Again, Rael not stopping the cross. What if you're a centre-back, what do you want from your wing-back or full-back? You want him to stop crosses. Emerson Royal isn't doing that. He isn't getting close. He needs to be more aggressive on the front foot.
So Lloris with the ball at the back. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Spurs in front through the Bednarek own goal in the 18th minute. But it took Southampton just 5 minutes to draw level. And it is that impressive young striker, Armando Broja, who scored it. Just a sniff of a chance, really, from 8 yards out in a packed penalty area. Just stabbed his right foot at it, and it flew past Lloris. And here comes Southampton again on the left-hand side. Perrault and Elyounoussi working it well together. And now Perrault to the dead ball line. The cross, Armstrong with a header. And Lloris, diving to his left, is able to push it away. Southampton threatening again. Walker-Peters, then squared to Ward-Prowse just outside the D. Now to the left-hand side. Again, it's that Perrault-Elyounoussi combination on the left-hand side. Comes back centrally. Ward-Prowse. Back to Perrault. And this time the cross, the low cross, is straight at Lucas Moura. He still hasn't cleared it away, just chips it away. And that gives possession back to Southampton again, who are impressive. 1-1 the score. Southampton coming forward again. Going to go to QPR in a moment, but Southampton continue to threaten here on what is currently a wet night. Light drizzle drifting down on the Tottenham Stadium. And as Southampton go back towards the halfway line, let's go to QPR Middlesbrough and Charlotte Richardson.
QPR 1, Middlesbrough 0. The hosts given the lead through Ilias Chair. A stunning strike. The forward changing feet up quickly, getting sight of goal and right footing the ball towards the top right-hand corner. A stunning goal to break the deadlock here in what has been otherwise a very evenly fought game. It's QPR 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Yeah, 2 informed sides in the Championship though, QPR and Middlesbrough. QPR in front. Middlesbrough have got an FA Cup 5th round tie, Jonathan, against Tottenham to look forward to in a few weeks' time.
Can't wait for it. Another massive one at the Riverside.
Yeah.
Let's see what the boys in red can do against them.
Yes, and we're still waiting to find out what days of the week they're going to be played on, those 5th round ties. Here's Romeo, now to Walker-Peters on the right-hand side. And then back it goes to the absolutely shaven-headed Oriol Romeo. Going back to Chris Wise now, who's watching Bournemouth-Birmingham.
This is turning out to be a very good night for Scott Parker's side. They're now leading by 2-0, Bournemouth against Birmingham. And it's Dominic Solanke, their number 9, with his 20th of the season, poking it beyond Neil Etheridge. Half an hour play, Bournemouth 2, Birmingham 0.
And Dundee United have taken the lead against Motherwell. Dylan Levitt as Tottenham cross from the right Kane, but it dips away beyond Reguilon on the left side of the penalty area and is all the way through for a goal kick. So Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0. Jonathan Wood.
Previous to that, the acceleration from Son. Tell you, he could play in any team in the world. He is that good. His acceleration when he goes past players. He done that against Brighton. He went past Webster like he wasn't even there. The acceleration is so hard to defend against. He did it again there.
St Johnstone winning 1-0 at St Mirren. St Johnstone now off the bottom of the table. St Johnstone scoring with a penalty from Callum Hendry. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1 here on what is actually a remarkably mild night for February. Højbjerg passes the ball from the halfway line, but that's way beyond anyone, you know. I know that some Tottenham supporters are he's not their favourite, let's put it that way.
But he's an important part of their team. It'd be like when Bentancur comes in the team. and have them two both in the centre of that pitch. They both complement each other really well.
Yeah. You could hear the groans when Højbjerg hit that pass forward, and of course you know it, don't you? As a player, you know it when the supporters.
And then it takes confidence again to get back on the ball.
Absolutely.
That's what shows the bravery and determination. Can you get back on the ball and pass it again? Give it away again. Get back on it. Be brave.
And yes, the two arrivals from Juventus, Bentancur and Kulusevski, are both on the bench again for Tottenham. Antonio Conte naming the same team and the same subs as he did here on Saturday night. Over half an hour played. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Still Manchester City 0, Brentford 0 on 5 Live Sport Extra. Norwich City 1-0 up on Crystal Palace. Aston Villa 0, Leeds United 1 in the 8 o'clock commentary. Those the latest scores in the Premier League. But Walker Peters with the throw for Southampton. 2 goals in his last 2. Scored the goal against Manchester City when they drew 1-1 2.5 weeks ago. Walker Peters takes the throw. Here's Southampton's top scorer and indeed goal scorer tonight. Breuer takes the ball to the dead ball line. A couple of challenges come in, both Reguilon and Davis, and it's Tottenham touched and took it behind. It's a corner to Southampton from the right.
Breuer's been very impressive, really impressive. They did the recruitment right when they got him in on loan. A really good signing for them.
Well, he has impressed, and he looks as though if everything carries on in the way that it has done this season, that he is he's going to be a very, very good player. Ward-Prowse with the corner for Southampton from the right. Romeo's arriving, but Sanchez got there and was able to head it away before the Southampton midfielder got to it. Stuart Armstrong plays it back in, but that's cleared away by Emerson Royal. Then it comes back into the penalty area, and Davinson Sanchez clears it to the halfway line. Been some really good moments, hasn't there, for Southampton in this first half?
I'd say, John, they've been the better team in my eyes. They've had the better chances, more clearer chances, creating good opportunities to score, playing in between the lines at times when Armstrong comes off the line, causing a lot of problems down Spurs' right. They've been the better team.
Yeah, came from behind after going 1-0 down to the own goal. Adams had the chance early on when it was 0-0. Should have scored. We had the shot from Ward-Prowse that was well saved by Lloris, and Stuart Armstrong with his effort as well. So Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, and we've got a good contest here. Let's go back to Manchester and hear the latest on the leaders. Gary Flintoff.
Still goalless here, John, but a couple of openings for Manchester City. Brentford keeper David Raya did well. Brave, really, to dive at the feet of Raheem Sterling to claw it away. Then João Cancelo blazed over the bar. And then Raheem Sterling just a few moments ago with a scissors kick over the crossbar. City edging closer. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0.
There is a match of the day tonight, by the way, on BBC One after the news, when Dion Dublin and Micah Richards will be with Mark Chapman. It's on the television again tonight, Jonathan. Good grief. Will the public never tire? So match of the day tonight, and we'll round it all up for you in the 5 Live Football Daily podcast on BBC Sounds in the morning. Download, subscribe for absolutely free.
He looks great though, doesn't he?
Mark Chapman.
He looks fantastic.
Oh, $1 million. Absolutely.
Or $1 million lira.
Long ball through the middle. Breuer's onto this. He's away from the defenders. Breuer. Oh, he's shot wide. A cross goal. He would have put more than $1 million lira on him scoring that one in the position that he's in, the form that he's in. Lloris coming out, and he dragged it right-footed beyond the left post.
Centre-back's asleep, but what a run by Breuer. Has to finish it. I'd say 7-8 yards out. He has to score. But I don't know what Davinson Sanchez doing in that situation there. Stay focused, be concentrated, stay with your man, don't let him get away from you. He ends up should have been 2-1 to Southampton.
It really should. And actually, their lead could be quite significant if they'd taken all of the chances that they've had. Southampton,
they've cut them open at times. Cut them open.
So it is still Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. The latest scores in the Championship. All of these 7:45 kickoffs. Southampton, Romeo's won the ball back from Winks. Romeo into the penalty area, gives it to the left-hand side. Adams is there. Adams cross high towards the back post. Stuart Armstrong is onto this inside the penalty area. That's Scotland International to Scotland International. He turns and he plays the ball off Reguilon, and it's out for a throw to Southampton down the right. Walker Peters takes this quickly to the tall Stuart Armstrong. There's been some great movement from Southampton, the forward players in this game.
Moving so fast as well, don't they? Moving so fast against a decent Spurs team.
They're posing real problems for Tottenham, who at times have looked a bit sluggish as well at the back. There have been some slips and mistakes.
I think the communication between Emerson Royal and Davinson Sanchez, they aren't on the same wavelength. Because at times Emerson Royal doesn't have to come so far in, because Sanchez can pick him up, and he's leaving himself a massive space to go and get to the left back.
Yeah. Christian Romero in the middle, Davinson Sanchez on his right, Ben Davis on his left, Emerson Royal as the right wing back.
It's 4v2 there at the back, where Sanchez can go wider. I mean, Royal can go wide and leave Sanchez with the other striker.
Southampton have got the ball inside their own penalty area at the moment, and that's been a rarity. We've got 7 minutes to go to half-time. I'll run you through those latest scores in the Championship, but Walker-Peters passing the ball dangerously forward towards Breuer. Tottenham have 2 men on him this time, and between them, Reguilon's able to clear the ball away. Kane comes deep, but Southampton have won it back. Kane passed it straight to Breuer. Now Ward-Prowse angles it back towards the halfway line. Perrault is there. Perrault to Elyounoussi. He came into the side this evening. There's no Nathan Redmond. He's not involved at all tonight. Stuart Armstrong has drifted out towards the left-hand side. Now Romeo again. Oriol Romeo to Ward-Prowse. And then back to Salisu on the halfway line. Still 1-1. Now, again, Southampton feels like they've dominated the possession as well.
They have dominated the possession. The eyes don't lie in this game without question. But they're picking up the little pockets there again.
Once again, it's Elyounoussi who receives it from Ward-Prowse. Might shoot, didn't, maybe wrong decision. Bounces out, Stuart Armstrong with a dipping shot, and that was just wide at the foot of the right post. And he has his hands on his head.
The fans are going absolutely crazy because Spurs aren't getting near them. Southampton are picking up some great little spaces. They've got the 2 full-backs really wide, and again Armstrong and Elyounoussi are just picking up these areas which they can't be marked, and they find it difficult. Emerson Royal doesn't know whether he's coming or going, and Sanchez isn't pressing out.
So it is a goal kick to Tottenham. In the Championship, Blackburn 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Bournemouth 2, Birmingham 0, Bristol City 0, Reading 0, Cardiff City 1, Peterborough 0, Preston 0, Huddersfield 0, QPR 1, Middlesbrough 0, and Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0 are the latest scores. But Southampton, and you can hear, I'm sure, coming across the airwaves, particularly, I would imagine, through my brand new microphone tonight, how there is this feeling of unease among the home supporters. Straight to Manchester, Gary Flintoff.
Penalty for Manchester City as they bid to go 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Raheem Sterling, the man brought down as he burst into the penalty area, and it's Riyad Mahrez who has placed the ball down on the spot. Steps back 3-4 paces up against David Raya in front of those Brentford fans. Mahrez takes his time and steps forward now, left-footed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Manchester City finally have the breakthrough. Manchester City 1, Brentford 0.
So the leaders are in front as half-time approaches. Still Tottenham 1, Southampton 1 here. But Christian Romero conceding a free kick in the middle of the Southampton, in the middle of the Tottenham half, so Southampton have a free kick that Ward-Prowse and Walker-Peters are over. Walker-Peters runs away, Ward-Prowse swings it in right-footed beyond the back line. That's a great delivery, and it bounces through. I thought it might have taken a Tottenham touch there. It has. That has been given now Tottenham, and you can hear the crowd's reaction to that, but I'm pretty sure it got a Tottenham touch there.
Yeah, I think it did again. The ball in from Ward-Prowse, spectacular, really difficult to defend. But I'm just watching Antonio Conte. He's not his normal self again. He isn't waving his team forward. He's stood there at times with his hands in his pockets, looks slightly subdued. I'd love to be in that dressing room through the half-time team talk.
Ward-Prowse's latest corner, goalkeeper comes, doesn't make it, and it's headed just wide. It rattled about in the box. I think Salisu got the final touch. He did, just outside the 6-yard area, under pressure, and he couldn't direct it on target. Lloris was nowhere, and the ball drops wide, and again, Tottenham are lucky.
They've got them right on the ropes, and the fans, that you can actually feel it in the stadium, the atmosphere of what Tottenham are really like. Every time Southampton go forward, they look like they're going to score. They're causing them problems left, right and centre. Will it change in the second half? That's the thing. Southampton need to get a goal up.
It hit, Salisu's header hit Davis and bounced wide. Here's the latest corner, hit near post header, flashes across goal. It was headed away, it wasn't on target. It was headed away, I think, by Sanchez. Comes out, Southampton again, the shot hits the crossbar. Perrault hit that, goodness me, what an effort that was. It rattled the top right corner, came out again. And again, Tottenham are living a charmed life.
What a strike. What a strike that was. Hit the upright. Lloris was absolutely nowhere near. I thought was destined for the top corner. What a strike.
Romain Perrault has yet to score for Southampton. And if that had found the corner of the net, what a way that would have been to get off the mark. But it is still Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. And we've got a frenzied finish to the first half here. Tottenham, I mean, this game could be out of sight for Southampton if they'd taken half of their chances. Romeo hits a shot now, that's blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Back to Carroll Road, Aaron Paul.
Palace, no, Palace have had the ball in the back of the net through Jean-Philippe Mateta, but a very late flag from the linesman has ruled that one out. As you say, Tottenham living a charmed life at the end of this first half. Norwich 2, they're camped in their own first half and are looking to hold on till the break. Norwich 1, Palace 0.
How's Steve Bruce's first match as the West Brom manager going, Nas Premji?
Not very well, because they're down to 10 men. Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0, Billy Sharp's goal, and Jake Livermore straight red for an awful challenge on Conor Hourihane. It's not a good introduction for Steve Bruce at West Brom. Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0.
St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, equaliser from the penalty spot, Conor Ronan. And we're just watching replays here suggesting that maybe Southampton had a case for a penalty for handball.
That was close. That was really close. Of Højbjerg there. I think he just tried to move his arm out the way. That's what went in his favour. Could easily have gone the other way, especially with VAR these days.
Yeah, VAR. It's John Brooks tonight. They'll have had a look at it, and clearly they've decided that they're going to take that no further. As Reguilon puts in the challenge on Broja and slides the ball out of play for a throw-in to Southampton down the right-hand side. We're in the 45th minute here, and Southampton in the centre circle. When we get to the break, we'll run you through the chances they've had again. But I mean, Southampton have been rampant. The only thing they failed to do is put the ball in the net, and Southampton with it near the halfway line. Back to Villa Park, Lee Blakeman.
Equaliser for Villa, Coutinho on the turn, edge of the area, took it brilliantly, hard and low, bottom corner. This place has come alive. He got one against United here last month. He's got another one tonight, 2 for the club. Villa 1, Leeds 1.
Great start for him. Aston Villa 1, Leeds 1. We're into the minute of added time at the end of the first half. Apparently, Antonio Conte down there on the touchline, out of our sight. When he comes back to the dugout, he disappears from our sight because we're so high up here, Jonathan. But he's been kicking water bottles down there.
It doesn't surprise me. I think, John, if you were the manager, you'd be doing exactly the same. He could even make a change at half-time. It wouldn't surprise me if he put Dockett on for Emerson Royal, because he hasn't stopped the cross all day. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, this is only the second time we've worked together, Jonathan, so you're still getting to know me, but
I'm quite enjoying it.
I never lose my temper. Never. It's never been known. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. And there is the half-time whistle. And, well, that has been a terrific first half. It really has. It's really entertaining. And Southampton should be looking at 3 points from this match, but actually it's 1-1.
You just don't want it to come back in the second half and bite. And a bit like the Man United game yesterday against Burnley. Man United far better in the first half, end up getting a 1-1 draw. Will it come back to haunt them? Because they've been exceptional in this first half. The movement of the two wingers coming inside, the full-backs giving them the width. Broja up front being a real handful, difficult to play against. It could honestly be 3-1. They've been that good. They've moved it from side to side really quick, getting balls into the box. It's been a fantastic performance. And what else to do? They win the ball back quick.
So Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, Bednarek's own goal. Actually, Tottenham took the lead through that, but Broja quickly equalised within 5 minutes. But the chances they've had, Adams, Ward-Prowse, Armstrong, Broja again, Armstrong again, Salisu, Perrault with that shot that hit the bar, and they're all good chances, but not taken. One thing I've also done, Jonathan, is watch an awful lot of football, and I suspect you might be right with what you said. But half-time, Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, Kelly.
Yeah, we've had lots on social on this one. Jay said Spurs playing like they're away at Man City. Steve said this Spurs game has got 5-5 written all over it. It's been a really entertaining first half between Tottenham and Southampton. But I know you pointed it out during the first half, Jonathan. Antonio Conte will not be happy. There will be words in that Spurs dressing room, you'd imagine.
I'd love to be in the dressing room, to be honest with you, and listen to what he says and listen to how he changes it, because at the minute they need to do something, because Southampton have been the better team by far. As I said in commentary there, the ball's going out to Southampton's left-hand side. Emerson Royale's not getting out there to stop the ball, and the ball's just coming in. They must have had about 7 crosses from that side. He hasn't stopped the cross. It's one of your main things as a full-back, stop the cross, make life easy for centre-backs, and the ball's just been coming in and in. And honestly, there could have been 3 or 4-1 up. They've been that good, Southampton, they really have.
We'll be back with you for the second half at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. For now, though, thank you to Jonathan Woodgate and to John Murray. We're going to head to QPR, where there's been another goal for Charlotte Richardson.
Yes, it's QPR 1, Middlesbrough 1. The visitors managing to secure an equaliser deep into first half injury time. A corner whipped in, not cleared initially by the hosts. A blocked effort fell to the centre-back, Del Fry, whose left-footed finish put the ball beyond the outstretched palm of David Marshall. It's QPR 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Charlotte, thank you very much for that. Regular updates from Charlotte throughout the game, as you've been hearing. Aaron Poole is at Carrow Road for Norwich against Crystal Palace, and it's half-time, Aaron.
It is Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 0. Teemu Pukki's first league goal in 2022 separates these two sides after brilliant work by Milos Rashica down the left. The ball made its way into Adam Eder, who teed it up for Pukki to finish off the post. Pukki then went close against twice Tyreek Mitchell to the rescue on both occasions, first intercepting a header before Pukki got chance to divert it home, and then with the coolest of tackles, Kelly, as the Finn went to pull the trigger. Palace grew into the half. Wilfred Zaha drifting in off the left has fired wide a couple of times off. John Philippe Mateta's dinked effort was ruled out for offside. It is, however, job half done for Norwich. They lead Crystal Palace here at the break by 0-0.
Aaron, thank you very much. Let's head to the Etihad. Half-time whistle's gone between Manchester City and Brentford. Gary Flintoff.
Well, for 40 minutes, Kelly, Brentford were thwarting Manchester City's bid to go 12 points clear. But at half-time, it's Manchester City 1, Brentford 0. And Riyad Mahrez's penalty separates the two sides after a trademark burst into the box by Raheem Sterling drew a clumsy foul by Mads Ruslev. Brentford came close to equalising just before the break. Ederson, I have to say, exceptionally brave, diving at the feet of Sergei Canos to claim Rico Henry's dangerous cross. He got a knock on his head for his troubles and was actually down for 3 or 4 minutes before getting back to his feet. But Brentford, although bright when they have got forward, have been second best. City dominating possession, dominating the corner count, and you think they will go on to win this game. Manchester City 1, Brentford 0 at the break.
Gary Flintoff, thank you very much. In the Scottish Premiership, the top two separated by just a point. The leaders Celtic are at Aberdeen. Kenny Crawford.
Time Kelly, Aberdeen 0, Celtic 2, and Celtic signed midfielder Matt O'Reilly from MK Dons in January. He was a bit of an unknown package, but the 21-year-old has turned out to be a pleasant surprise in his 5 appearances so far. None more so than in the Granite City tonight, where O'Reilly has an assist and his first Celtic goal. He created the opener on 17 minutes with a cross which on loan Benfica forward Jota tucked in at the back post for his 9th of the season. 3 minutes later, a Dazen Maeda knockdown found O'Reilly on the edge of the box, and his low drive deflected off David Bates and into the bottom corner. Aberdeen haven't had a shot on target. Aberdeen 0, Celtic 2.
And second place Rangers at home to Hibs. Ronnie Forsyth.
Rangers 1, Hibs 0. Took only 5 minutes for James Tavernier to score from the spot after Ryan Kent had been fouled by Paul McGinn. McGinn and Balogun of Rangers had to go off injured shortly afterwards. Rangers looked value for further encroachments into the penalty area after that, but then they went through a strangely static time when Hibs enjoyed themselves going forward, although they only got 1 shot in. That was taken by McGregor from Nisbet at close range. But it was a reminder to Rangers that they were living on thin pickings, especially as the news came in of the Celtic goals up at Pittodrie. But at half-time at Ibrox, that's a snowy and treacherous Ibrox, it's Rangers 1, Hibs 0.
Roddy, thank you very much for that. In the Championship, Bournemouth doing their promotion chances, absolutely no harm at all. They're at home to Birmingham. Chris Wise.
Yeah, they're leading by 2-0, and unlike at the weekend, they've been great to watch this evening, attractive and intense. Campwell and Christie have been creative. Solanke's been brilliant up top. That's how the goals have come about. Christie got the first 17 minutes in, sweeping in from close range. Solanke with the second on the half-hour mark. Christie made it, feeding it through. Solanke poked it into the corner. Philip Billings at the base of the post as well. Lee Bowyer's Birmingham team just unable to hurt a Bournemouth defence, which tonight includes Liverpool loanee Nat Phillips. Bournemouth 2, Birmingham 0.
And of course, Bournemouth will be keeping an eye on the game at Ewood Park this evening, where Blackburn are taking on Forest, who are bouncing after their FA Cup win and bouncing at half-time, Stephen Wyeth.
Yes, indeed they are. Bournemouth will be very satisfied with the state of affairs here. Blackburn 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Sunday's cup win over Leicester might have been a statement, but entirely consistent with Forest's recent form, and they are 45 minutes away from a 7th win in 10. They are in front through a beautifully constructed goal created by Keenan Davis, who then unselfishly teed up James Garner to finish with a finish of great composure for what is just the second goal of his loan spell from Manchester United. Rovers, well, they've scored just once now in 4.5 games and will drop out of the top 2 as things stand. Little by way of service for Ben Brereton-Deis, and John Buckley wasted their best chance tonight by Brice Samba when unmarked 12 yards out. Blackburn 0, Forest 1.
We'll bring you up to date with the rest of the Championship very shortly, but there's been a goal at Villa Park in the 8 o'clock kickoff. It was Leeds 1, Villa 0. Coutinho equalised for Villa. The third goal has gone in. Lee Blakeman.
Coutinho's got an assist because Villa have turned it around. Villa 2, Leeds 1. Great through ball from Coutinho. Jacob Ramsey got on the end of it. One-on-one with the keeper. Hard and low. Back of the net. Great finish. Great composure. What a game this is. It could be about 4-4. Instead, it's Aston Villa 2, Leeds United 1.
It is very lively indeed at Villa Park, and it could get even livelier as that game progresses. That one was an 8 o'clock kickoff then, so still, 7 or 8 minutes to go until half-time. Meanwhile, the half-time whistle has gone for QPR against Middlesbrough. Charlotte Richardson.
Yes, and it's QPR 1, Middlesbrough 1. QPR took the lead just before the half-hour mark. Lyndon Dykes' flick on picked up by Elias Chair, who curled the ball beautifully into the top right-hand corner beyond former Hoops keeper Joe Lumley. And Borough had looked threatening throughout the first half and secured an equaliser in first half stoppage time. Dal Fry's second goal in a Borough shirt makes it all square at the break. QPR 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Steve Bruce is in charge of West Brom for the first time. He's at Sheffield United. Naz Prenji.
Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0. His first game in charge, not going to plan. You know, they started really well. Carl and Grant hit the side netting. There was a couple of shots from Jake Livermore. Adam Reach with a couple of long-range sighters as well. But then George bowled up with a cross from the left. Billy Sharp with a turn in the box. The shot towards goal took a deflection. It beat Sam Johnston. There's Sheffield United's first goal, and then it got really worse for West Brom. Jake Livermore with an awful two-footed lunge on Conor Hourihane. Referee, no hesitation, straight red card. He's got a very, very strong team talk to do at the break. It's Sheffield United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Naz, thank you very much. Elsewhere in the Championship this evening, Bristol City are 1-0 up against Reading. Thomas Callas with their goal. Cardiff leading Peterborough by 2 goals to 0, and it's goalless at half-time between Preston and Huddersfield. We will keep you across everything that's happening in the Championship, in the Premier League, where we have all our commentary matches across 5 Live, Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website, and of course we'll keep you up to date with what's happening in the Scottish Premiership as well. Coming up now though, the BBC News with Tim Steer.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Metropolitan Police has said it will be contacting people by the end of this week as part of its investigations into a number of Downing Street and Whitehall parties which may have breached COVID regulations. Formal questionnaires will be sent to more than 50 people. The Met had announced earlier that it would be reviewing a decision not to investigate a Downing Street quiz attended by Mr Johnson in December 2020 after the Daily Mirror published a second photo of the event. Our political correspondent Damien Grammaticus says the Met statement demonstrates the scale of the task it faces.
We know that one of the questions they have for people is, if they consider that there might have been a breach of the rules, well, what is your explanation for what has happened here, for your perhaps presence at some event? Perhaps they're asking for some other sort of clarification, but it does suggest, again, there are a lot of people in Downing Street involved in this. this is further confirmation of that, and the number that the police now are seeking to talk to.
Boris Johnson has suggested that rules requiring people in England with COVID to self-isolate could be lifted within weeks. He said it was his hope that the remaining domestic restrictions be removed a month earlier than had been planned, as long as what he called the encouraging trends in the data continued. Previously, the government had said they wouldn't expect to renew the measures when they expired at the end of March. A man serving a life sentence for killing his fiancée, the children's author Helen Bailey, in 2016, has been found guilty of the murder of his wife in Cambridgeshire 6 years earlier. Diane Stewart's death in 2010 was looked at again after Ian Stewart's initial conviction. And West Ham footballer Kurt Zouma has been fined 2 weeks' wages by the Premier League club after footage emerged of him slapping and kicking one of his cats. The player has apologised. The RSPCA said Zouma's 2 cats were now in their care while the charity investigates the incident.
On BBC iPlayer.
This is Obs and Guiney. You're generally sailing the ship alone, a ship that's massive and on fire and no one's had the time to teach you how to sail.
One overworked doctor, hundreds of pregnant women.
We're full on labour wards.
We could pull out the patient's drips and chuck her out the window.
Based on Adam Kay's best-selling book and starring Ben Whishaw.
Do you need a caesarean section? I've got a scalpel in the back pocket, you'll be fine.
This is going to hurt.
Well, the doctors can say they end up with twice the number of patients they started with.
Watch all episodes only on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
Hello, welcome back to 5 Live Sport. 4 games taking place in the Premier League this evening. 3 of them 7:45 kickoffs are at half-time. It's Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, City 1-0 up against Brentford, Norwich 1-0 up against Palace, Villa against Leeds kicked off at 8 o'clock. With a couple of minutes to go till half-time, there's been another goal. Lee Blakeman.
Villa have a third and Ramsey has 2. Aston Villa 3, Leeds 1. Counter-attack from Villa. Ramsey bursting into the area, right side, put in a fierce shot from 12 yards out and fired it into the roof of the net. Great finish. What a half. Villa from 1 down lead this game by 3-1.
We will be back there should there be any more developments in the next 60 seconds or so. And of course, we'll be back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium shortly for second half commentary. Elsewhere today, Great Britain still to win a medal at the Winter Olympics. GB's best medal hope, Charlotte Banks, suffered a shock quarter-final exit in the women's snowboard cross. Stacey Lewis will lead the US against Europe in the 2023 Solheim Cup. At 36, she's the youngest player ever to captain the US. And Lando Norris has signed a new contract to stay at McLaren until the end of 2025. Earlier, Chelsea booked their place in the Club World Cup final with a 1-0 win over Asian champions Al Hilal. They'll play Brazilian side Palmeiras in Sunday's final. And Chelsea's unvaccinated players look set to miss next month's Champions League tie at French club Lille after UEFA updated its COVID-19 rules. France does not currently allow unvaccinated people to enter the country. And Vitality have suspended their sponsorship deal with West Ham after videos emerged of defender Kurt Zouma kicking and slapping one of his pet cats. Both animals have today been removed by the RSPCA, who are dealing with Essex Police with the incident. West Ham say they have fined Zouma the maximum amount possible, and the fee will be donated to animal welfare charities. Adidas have also ended their deal with the defender. In this evening's games then, been really entertaining first halves across the board. Tottenham 1-1 against Southampton. Manchester City leading Brentford by a 1-0. It was a Riyad Mahrez penalty. Norwich 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. If it stays like that, then Norwich will be out of the relegation places by the end of the evening. And a really entertaining first half at Villa Park that's just about coming to an end in a minute and a half or so, where Aston Villa have turned it around. They were trailing 1-0 against Leeds, but they are now 3-1 up. Coutinho on target with the equaliser, and 2 for Jacob Ramsey to put Villa in pole position as they head towards the half-time whistle. Let's head back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium then, with it very finely poised. There have been plenty of chances in the first half of that one. To take us through the second half, Jonathan Woodgate and John Murray.
Yes, thank you, Kelly. Just before you came back to us, they were playing Barry Manilow's I Can't Smile Without You over the public address system. I'm not sure that entirely matches the mood of Antonio Conte on the touchline, who, judging by the absolutely thunderous expression on his face, when he walked out at half-time. I think he's done exactly what you suggested he might do in the dressing room, Jonathan Woodgate.
I think he'd want a bit more rock and roll, don't you?
Don't think he's thinking about the Copacabana anyway. Here's Bednarek, halfway inside his own half. It is Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, somehow. Southampton could be streets ahead. There's not been another goal at Villa Park, Lee Blakeman.
There has. We're not sure who's got the final touch, but Leeds back in it. Aston Villa 3, Leeds 2. It looks like Dan James got the final touch. Ball in from the left. Header from James at the back post. He's run away claiming it. He's also run away holding his head. It may well be an own goal, but the main story here is that in a thrilling first half, it's Aston Villa 3, Leeds 2 now.
So 5 goals in the first half at Villa Park, and it's back in the balance. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1 here. There were no changes at half-time. On the match we've seen so far, I'm sure we'll see Bentancur, possibly Kulusevski as well in the second half, but not yet. Although I think there were 1 or 2 signals from Antonio Conte that it might not be too long. However, Tottenham have got a free kick, left of centre, middle of the Southampton half. Son is there, Harry Kane isn't. Højbjerg is to the right. Kane's just taken up a position on the edge of the box. Referee Coote blows his whistle. Played in by Højbjerg. Sanchez at the back post, swung a leg at it. It was an awkward height, actually. It was quite high. He was at full tilt, and he could only direct it wide of the near post.
If that was me in that position, John would have probably pulled a hamstring. His leg went that high. He just couldn't direct it towards the goal.
More Bee Gees than Barry Manilow. And Dan James is confirmed as the scorer of that goal for Leeds. So Aston Villa 3, Leeds 2. You can listen to commentary on that on online, BBC Sport website now. Southampton have given it away. Son's into the penalty area. Important challenge from Salisu. And now it's played by Son, who's still in possession. Emerson Royal chips it to the back post, stretching away by the head of Kyle Walker-Peters. And he's been able to head it away to Stuart Armstrong, who's now over the halfway line. Reguilón's chasing him, but the ball to the right-hand side. Breuer is there, and Breuer's well challenged by Davinson Sanchez, who comes by Christian Romero, who comes on across and knocks it out for a throw 10 yards back from the corner flag.
Son had an unbelievable chance. That's the first time his touches let him down in the box, and it was a massive moment. You could see it there. It was just his touch went about 2 yards out of his feet, and he just lost control of it.
Southampton are playing from right to left in the second half. They're in the yellow and blue tonight. Yellow shirts, royal blue trim, royal blue shorts against Tottenham in the first choice colours here on their home ground. The white shirts with the dark blue shorts and socks, and Southampton going all the way back to goalkeeper Fraser Forster, who hits one long and right-footed. We're going to West London and QPR in a moment. In fact, we'll do that now because Tottenham have got the ball back. QPR, Middlesbrough, Charlotte Richardson.
It's QPR 2, Middlesbrough 1. My goodness, this second half has gotten off to a cracking start. The opening 36 seconds, a moment to forget for former QPR and current Middlesbrough goalkeeper Joe Lumley, passing the ball straight into the pass of Chris Wilcox. QPR playing with a high press, and it's benefited them. They've taken the advantage. It's QPR 2, Middlesbrough 1.
Stuart Armstrong with a shot for Southampton from 25 yards, and as he hit it, it took a flick off Ben Davis, which carried it wide. Might well have been going wide anyway, but it's a Southampton corner.
If he'd have got his head up there and he saw James Ward-Prowse running on the side of him, he'd have been in on goal with the right weight and the right pass. He'd have had a better opportunity, but it was Emerson Royal that give it away with a real sloppy pass.
That's the way it goes for the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, isn't it? Friday night, penalty shootout. And he is right in the thick of things tonight. An error, and Middlesbrough 2-1 down. Southampton with a corner, into the near post, headed out. Romeo with a shot inside the D, but it bounced up and he got underneath it, and it was 2 or 3 yards over the top. So goal kick, 1-1. And it is half-time at Villa Park. Aston Villa 3, Leeds United 2. All 9 of these Premier League games this midweek, we're bringing you commentary on, either on 5 Live, on Sports Extra, or online via the BBC Sport website and app. Tomorrow night, Liverpool, Leicester's on 5 Live, Wolves, Arsenal on Sports Extra. Here's Harry Kane inside his own half, curls a long ball forward, looking for the run of Son. Forster read it, he was quickly out of his penalty area. He was actually there, almost like a central defender, waiting for it, and he was able to head it away, and Southampton have got it back.
I love the way Southampton are pressing this Spurs team. They really had the ball went into, I think it was Mora there, and Perrault really aggressive with him, nicked the ball off him against Southampton attack, just by it. They're willing to press high up the pitch.
Rolling noise coming out of the big south stand to our right that stretches right away back underneath the futuristic roof of the stand. The Golden Cockerel is up there as well at that end of the ground. Here's Emerson Royal down the right-hand side, but Perrault slides in. He's caught my eye tonight, I must say. Romain Perrault, the 24-year-old, who was rested on Saturday. Southampton spent over £10 million to bring him from French football, from Brest, to replace Ryan Bertrand. And he's looked very good coming forward. And here is Lucas Moura, plays the ball on the fall, but Walker Peters is able to take that in his stride, gives it back to Forster. Long clearance from him, and the ball is Tottenham's because the flag is up offside against Breuer.
The work that two centre midfielders get through for Southampton, Romeo and Ward-Prowse, you just watch them and they cover every single blade of grass, but they're constantly dictating to the rest of the players when to press, when to go. Two real leaders in the middle of the pitch is what's really helping Southampton in this game.
In the Championship, Bristol City have scored an early goal in the second half. An own goal, actually, Michael Morrison. So Bristol City 2-0 up on Reading, who are really struggling at the moment. As Reguilon chests the ball down on the left, plays it in. Lucas Moura, left foot, 12 yards out, but steered it wide, again by 1.5 yards. But that's more to the Tottenham fans' liking.
That's what they want to see. They're at home. They need to win these type of games. If they've got any ambitions of finishing in the top 4, these are the type of games you have to win. These games. They've got 4 games on hand on a West Ham team. They have to win these games.
I think there was a little element, though, of Spurs fans looking at the table, seeing exactly what you're seeing, coming here tonight and thinking, you know, win the games in hand, we're right up there, we'll beat Southampton tonight. And I think that's part of the reason for the unrest in the first half, that they just weren't expecting it. More goals. St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 1 now. Alex Grieve with that one. Still Aberdeen 0, Celtic 2, still Rangers 1, Hibs 0. And also Ross County 0, Livingston 1. So Livingston in front through Alan Forrest. And Hearts 1, Dundee 1. Toby Civic own goal, equaliser for Hearts. So Hearts 1, Dundee 1. And Tottenham with the ball inside their own half. Lucas Moura is fouled. It's a free kick to Spurs. So back to Manchester City, Gary Flintoff.
Where the home side continue to lead by 1-0. That first half penalty from Riyad Mahrez separating the two sides. It's all City in this second half. João Cancelo has gone closest, driving over from 22 yards. City going 12 points clear as it stands. City 1, Brentford 0.
Kane, ball to Reguilon. Reguilon's cross to the back post. Kane is there! And hits it down and it bounces up and over the bar.
And he's ended up in the stand.
And he's over the Hoarding.
Straight over the Hoarding and into the stand. I was expecting to see the net ripple there. A great ball in. Harry Kane south the move. Played the ball lovely out wide, and the ball coming, he got inside the box. Should have headed it in. Poor miss really from Harry Kane. Great ball over from Winks.
Trying to work out how it didn't end up in the back of the net. Then he headed it down into the ground and it bounced up. And somehow that bounce, I mean, what a kick that took off the pitch. Surely 9 times out of 10 you'd expect that to bounce into the net.
These Desso pitches, half grass, half artificial.
Well, that had the bounce of rubber. Here's El Yunusi on the left-hand side for Southampton. 2 Tottenham men on him. Back to Pittodrie, Kenny Crawford.
It's getting very interesting here, John. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 2. Against the run of play, Aberdeen have got a goal back, and it's Christian Ramirez, his 14th goal of the season. A brilliant left-footed finish into the bottom corner after a nice clever free kick by Finzo Ojo. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 2.
The Manchester City match is on Sports Extra with Seb Hutchinson and Michael Brown. The Norwich City Crystal Palace commentary is online via the BBC Sport website and app, and it is very interestingly poised, Aaron Paul.
Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 0. You come to me as Jeff Schlupp has just forced a brilliant save out of Angus Gunn in the Norwich goal. Just watching the replay again, and gone sprawling low down to his right as Schlupp caught it on the half volley. Palace pushing, Norwich still ahead. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Tottenham 1, Southampton 1 here. And Harry Kane still probably disbelieving that header bounced down and up and over the crossbar. So still 1-1. That was the first big chance of the second half in what's been a really entertaining game. If you've just joined us here at the Tottenham Stadium on 5 Live, dry night now, there's been drizzle. It's very mild though. And here's Perraud on the left-hand side. Perraud cutting infield, back to Oriol Romeo. His shiny bald head. He must have had his hair cut this afternoon. Romeo, ball to the left-hand side. Stuart Armstrong's appeared on this flank, the left. Elyounoussi tried to give it back to him, but Lucas Moura nipped in, and Emerson Royal should clear it. The crowd on absolutely certainly will, but he wins a throw-in.
It's kind of Alan Shearer shiny as well, if you look at it.
Isn't it? It is, it's absolutely. It looks as though it's been freshly polished. Throw-in to Tottenham in the right-back position. And Emerson Royal waiting to take this, which he does now. Takes it up the line. Salisu is underneath that. Another one of the young Southampton men. Central defender. Kane plays it on the bounce into the centre circle. Reguilon now, he's off and running. Walker Peters is going with him, the shoulder to shoulder. Reguilon into the full-back position. Checks back now. And the Spaniard gives it back to Son. And then Højbjerg, you can hear the groans because Højbjerg went backwards to the halfway line. Tottenham. And then the pass from the halfway line from Christian Romero. He tried to whip it through the inside right position, got far too much on it, and it just bounced through to Fraser Forster. So still Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Next we're going to Ewood Park again, and Stephen Wyatt.
Well, I'll tell you what, this game definitely feels as though it's going with form, John, because Blackburn Rovers are going to have to try and turn things around with 10 men. Their captain, Darren Lenihan, has been sent off for a second yellow card, booked in the first half, went lunging into an unnecessary challenge. He's departed. You were talking about Jed Spence earlier. He's demonstrated his confidence with a Rabona cross in this second half, with Forest leading 1-0.
And now is Brennan Johnson playing tonight, Steve?
Is Brennan Johnson on the pitch? Yes, he is playing tonight, yes. And there's just been a change as well, I should tell you about, John. Even though they're down to 10 men, Blackburn have sent off reinforcements up front because Sam Gallagher has been introduced.
Thank you, Steve. Tottenham coming through the middle. Here's Harry Kane. White shirt outside his blue shorts. Gives it to the left-hand side. Now the cross from
21 hours.
Ward Prowse is able to take it just ahead of Harry Kane at the edge of the box, and gives it to his left-hand side. Stuart Armstrong knew he was losing the ball. Tried to win the free kick. Tottenham have got it back. Lucas Moura now. Moura away from Stuart Armstrong. Got Son ahead of him, but he's run down a blind alley there, a yellow and blue blind alley, and it's passed forward. And rolled out of play on the halfway line as Davinson Sanchez was putting in the challenge on Shea Adams, who's gone rolling off the field, clutching his left ankle, and David Coote has pulled out the yellow card for Davinson Sanchez.
There's no need for Davinson Sanchez to go to ground. First thing, a central defender, stay on your feet, be difficult to beat. Just give Southampton a chance again to just control the game. Control the game, pass it across the other side, get Ward Prowse on the ball. Davinson Sanchez just needs to stay on his feet and don't be too hasty in making them tackles. Really no need.
Well, Jonathan, we're going to see Rodrigo Bentancur now for the first time in the Premier League. Made his debut on Saturday as a substitute in the FA Cup. And the Uruguayan international, this midfielder, who's arrived from Juventus in a deal that in the end will be worth over £20 million. And it's Højbjerg who makes way, as you suggested might be the case. Harry Winks gives a little clap as Bentancur runs onto the field, and there's the cheer for the new signing coming on to make his Premier League debut. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Going back to Ruddy Forsyth now, who's monitoring Rangers Hibs.
And it's Rangers 2, Hibs 0, and Morales, the man who scored what a difference he's made since he came back from international duty with Colombia. They tried to play him offside. Bashiri, however, played him onside, and he doesn't miss from that range, and so it's now Hibs 0, Rangers 2.
Dundee United now 2-0 up on Motherwell. Tony Watt has scored that one. And I was about to say Kenny Crawford, that Rangers with a 2-goal lead. Celtic's match back in the balance, but...
Yes, unbelievable at Pittodrie. What a roar. Aberdeen 2, Celtic 2. A brilliant header by Lewis Ferguson, the midfielder. His 11th of the season from Finzi Ocho's free kick. It's all square at Pittodrie.
Well, well. Aberdeen coming from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. Rangers 2-0 up. Here, Lucas Moura with a cross from the right-hand side. There was lots of potential promise there, but his cross far too close to Fraser Forster, Jonathan Woodgate.
The ball to Moura by Bentancur was absolutely out of this world. He's touched the ball twice now, a turn, swiveled on a sixpence, knocked it round someone, and he's hit a diagonal pass there. It was top. This kid's got real pedigree. Boca Juniors, Juventus, 24-year-old, 47 caps for Uruguay. This kid's a proper talent.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him. He's got his black gloves on, tall figure. He's got his face on the front of the programme tonight as well. And now he's on the field. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Maybe he'll swing it Spurs' way. We're going back to Carroll Road in a moment, but here's Perrault crossing to Southampton to the near post. And it is intercepted by Christian Romero and is bounced behind for a Southampton corner. But, Aaron Paul, what have you got to tell us?
Equaliser for Crystal Palace, and what a goal it is from Wilfred Zaha. He's cut in off the left and just let fly with his right, and it's gone flying past Angus Gunn at full stretch. Palace back on that level terms. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Looks like Cardiff are on the way to 3 wins in a row in the league, having been at Anfield in the Cup at the weekend. They're 3-0 up on Peterborough. Jordan Hugill has got the third for Cardiff. Southampton with this corner from the left-hand side. Ward-Prowse into the 6-yard box, comes off a Tottenham head, but is caught by Lloris. And we're going back to Kenny Crawford at Pittodrie.
It's all change again, John. Aberdeen 2, Celtic 3. Aberdeen are incensed. They thought Jota was offside, but the Portuguese winger on loan from Benfica stayed calm. His downward shot bounced off the ground, looped over Gary Woods and into the net. Aberdeen 2, Celtic 3.
Well, Moura's done well here. He's got away from Salisu just outside the box. Cross into the near post. Kane is challenged. The referee says it's an offside decision against Harry Kane. Well, Bednarek putting in the challenge on Kane, who went down very awkwardly, but the offside flag up against Harry Kane.
He picks some really good positions of Harry Kane. He drops really deep, then comes into the box late. It's like Teddy Sheringham-esque when he does it. Yeah, he's offside. He's a good yard offside.
Yeah, good call. Good call by the assistant again in this match. And it remains Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Lots to watch on Match of the Day tonight on BBC One after the news. There's a couple of Southampton men down. Actually, Shea Adams has got back onto his feet, but the physios are still coming onto the field to give him some treatment. So we've got a stoppage in play here. All of the interviews, all the reaction will be on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast in the morning, which you can download from BBC Sounds. And back to Carroll Road. Aaron Paul.
Penalty for Palace. Mesmerising move down the left. Tyreek Mitchell fouled by Max Aarons, and it is Wilfred Zaha who will take this for Crystal Palace, who levelled just moments ago with the opportunity just to turn the tables on this one. Norwich, who have been valiant in this game, well, they can't believe it. Max Aarons with a clumsy challenge. Zaha playing the ball into Tyreek Mitchell, and Aarons was there just to clear him, clear the Palace attacker up. And just look at the referee. He's just talking to Plaheta, just making sure he keeps over his line. Here is Wilfred Zaha up against Angus Gunn. Oh no, John! No, he's stumbled, his ankle's given way, and he's fired it past the post. It's a nightmare for Wilfred Zaha, and Patrick Vieira looks on stunned. Oh, it's an absolutely horrendous moment for Palace's Wilfred Zaha. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1. Back to you, John.
Cool, so it stays 1-1. So no for Palace. Yes for Norwich, though, as Harry Kane looked as though he might be about to break through, but Salisu put in the challenge. And Southampton are able to clear. Still 1-1 here. Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Eventful game, packed with chances at both ends now.
What you'll get with Bentancur, he always wants the ball. He always wants the ball, always wants to play progressive passes through the pitch. He likes to play forward.
And here is Moura now in a move that started with Bentancur in the centre circle. Moura's cross, that's cleared away on the edge of the 6-yard box. Bentancur again, square from him, winks into the edge of the penalty area. Kane trying to turn, to come back to Bentancur once again, and the Uruguayan goes the full 360 degrees, and Tottenham go back towards the halfway line. So we'll go back to QPR and Charlotte Richardson.
What a contest we have here. We've seen spectacular, we've seen strange, and now we have seen some sublime work from Isaiah Jones. He worked some magic down the right-hand side, a clever nutmeg, and then a tantalising ball along the 6-yard box, invited a touch Unfortunately, the QPR defender Albert Ademeyer, it was a touch off of his right boot which saw the ball go beyond him, an own goal. It's QPR 2, Middlesbrough 2.
Tottenham 1, Southampton 1. Bentancur breaking away, giving the ball to Reguilon. Kane wants it, the ball's gone. Oh, it's been threaded between 3 Tottenham players. 2 in the box, 1 just outside, but Emerson Royal has taken up possession again. And now here's Winks with a cross to the back post. Reguilon arriving, but well defended by Walker Peters in there. Cleared away by Southampton, and then a foul by Davinson Sanchez, and Southampton have got a free kick. Sanchez, who, remember, has been yellow carded all over the back of Shea Adams, and it's a free kick for Southampton.
Reguilon got himself in an incredible position. Why not play it in front of Harry Kane instead of back? They had the opportunity to put the best striker in the Premier League in on goal. Why put it behind him? Little decisions to make a good player into a top-class player.
It's been that kind of night for Tottenham. Ralph Hasenhüttl down there. There's a bit of talk this week about whether he might be retiring at the end of his contract. Apparently in a recent interview in Germany, he said when he gets to the end of his next contract in 2024, that's going to be it. But he said, let's be honest, that's a long way away. We'll cross that bridge when he comes to it, effectively. However, here is Salisu, who overhits his pass downfield. Shea Adams says, what do you expect me to do with that? And it's through to Lloris, who has got it inside the Tottenham penalty area. 67 minutes played. The rain's coming down again now in North London. Here's Bentancur, who really has brought a touch of class to proceedings. You can tell already the Tottenham supporters are liking what they're seeing. Up it goes to Moura, nice touch. Emerson Royal, heavy touch, cleared away by Salisu.
He's so elegant on the ball, Bentancur. Real elegant player.
Southampton breaking forward. Breuer gives it to Adams. Adams in the full-back position. Now into the penalty area. Lays it across the box. It bounces out. Shot from Ward-Prowse. That hits Davis. That's gone so high in the air off the Tottenham defender. And then it bounced. Breuer was challenged. He went down. And it's a free kick to Tottenham, who start to play it out from the back.
That was a great strike by Ward-Prowse. That was going in if Ben Davies didn't block it. A real good strike.
And then groans because Reguilon slides, can't reach the ball, and it's out of play for a throw-in on the halfway line. So where are we going next? I think it might have been Bournemouth. Chris Wise.
It is not for a goal but for a red card. Bournemouth are 2-0 up against Birmingham City, but they're now down to 10 men. And Jefferson Lerma, not for the first time in his Bournemouth career, receiving a straight red card for a lunge on Anel Hernandez. And a bit of hope for the visitors. Bournemouth 2, Birmingham City 0.
Yes, after I was listening to that, as I'm sure you were, Jonathan, on the way back from Nottingham the other night, Bournemouth's ignominious exit from the FA Cup to Boreham Wood. Free kick to Spurs in the centre circle, foul on Harry Kane. Second half is underway at Villa Park. Villa leading Leeds by 3-2. Still Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1. Manchester City still winning, only 1-0 against Brentford. And Tottenham going to make another couple of changes. And another Premier League debut coming for Dejan Kulusevski, who has joined also from Juventus on loan. Here's Reguilon on the left-hand side for Tottenham. Lifts over the cross to the back post. It's a floater. Lucas Moura gets there, heads it back across, but heads it straight to Romeo on the edge of the box, who is able to clear. And then it's Sanchez who steps forward. The Colombian, Shea Adams, though, does well and dispossesses him halfway inside his own half. And Southampton play it forward, left-footed, over the halfway line. Breuer is clattered into by Emerson Royal. No free kick. Bounces Winks. Winks to Kane. Kane then turns, rolls the ball through to Lucas Moura. Son's in the middle. Scores! Super goal for Spurs. Kane, Lucas Moura, and then Son in the middle. And Southampton trail by 2-1, and they must be wondering how. And they're complaining because Breuer is down injured inside the Tottenham half. But Spurs are celebrating. 2-1.
It was the Emerson Royal header. He won the ball, and that's why Southampton complaining. They thought the game should have been stopped. No way. The referee said play on. Moura, great ball in, and Son, what a finish. Side foot, hit the target, take the pace off the ball. Tottenham 2-1. But Ralph Hasenhüttl is going absolutely mental down on the sideline.
Yeah, Southampton feel that that was a foul on Breuer. In the build-up to the game, they're still bitterly complaining about this. Breuer is down, he's receiving treatment. And the question is, should it have been, Jonathan? I mean, we've not seen it again yet.
You can't, for me. The referee made the right decision. It's a 50-50. They're going up both in the air, and he wins it fairly. He wins it fairly. Then they start with the referee's discretion. Does he stop the game or not? It didn't look like a real top-notch collision where there's someone going to be badly injured. It just looked like a 50-50. They both went for it in the air. Look at the celebration by Conte. Look at that. That is passion. They're showing that is what the Spurs fans want to see.
Yeah, they're showing the Conte celebration on the big screens inside the ground. Rather worryingly, a stretcher has now appeared on the touchline here. Breuer is still down receiving treatment after that challenge, which I've not seen be shown again yet. And this was the challenge. It's not given us a free kick. And in the immediate aftermath of that, Tottenham went downfield and created the goal that means that Tottenham leads Southampton by 2-1. More on this in a moment, but straight to Manchester. Gary Flintoff.
And Manchester City going 12 points clear. They lead Brentford by 2-0. A mistake by David Raya in the Brentford goal. His clearance fell straight to Raheem Sterling. Sterling went through. To be fair to Raya, he made the save, but it fell to the feet of Kevin De Bruyne, and he finished from inside the penalty area. It's Manchester City 2, Brentford 0.
Still play has not resumed here. Tottenham 2-1 up on Southampton. Last we heard from Chris Wise at Bournemouth had been reduced to 10 men. What's happened now?
Well, now Birmingham have got one back, and they nearly got an equaliser as well. Mark Travers has just made a terrific save. Prior to that, Hanel Hernandez, who's come off the bench, he's got Lerma sent off, and he's scored as well. A deflection off the Liverpool loanee Nat Phillips, taking it beyond Travers, and Birmingham City very much with their tails up. Bournemouth 2, Birmingham 1.
Play has still not resumed. The stretch has been sent away. Breuer still receiving treatment. Antonio Conte, having completed his celebrations, is now getting rather wound up at the fact that the Southampton players are surrounding referee Coote, and now the Tottenham coaching staff. Antonio Conte almost looked as though he was going to walk onto the pitch there, because this is all happening on this side of the field, just 10 yards or so away from the two technical areas. And there are two Southampton players, Bednarek and also El Yunusi, talking to the referee, and now Ben Davies has come across. Antonio Conte, the fourth official, is there as well. Graham Scott is just trying to cool tempers, and Southampton continue to protest about the challenge on Breuer, which we're now seeing again. So it was Emerson Royale's challenge on Breuer on the halfway line. He challenged and then he landed on him.
It looked a hard but fair challenge to me, but how clever is Conte? How clever is he getting these fans worked up again? Because they're all watching him, and he's showing his passion on the sideline, and the whole stadium is standing up and shouting, Antonio, Antonio. They absolutely adore this manager.
This is very interesting. We've seen this before from Antonio Conte. He's clapping his hands now. But Jonathan Woodgate's absolutely right. This is a top manager, one of the top managers in the game,
in world football,
managing a match, managing a crowd,
and the referee, the whole shebang. He does everything. He does absolutely everything. So clever.
Breuer is now on his feet, and he was caught, as I say. Emerson Royale landed on top of the young striker, and he's been given lengthy treatment here. You know, clearly they're thinking. You know, it looked as though they were going through all of the concussion protocols, and Breuer is now coming back onto the field, and he's holding his arm rather awkwardly. So was it a problem with his arm? He's holding his arm as though it might be a shoulder, might be an elbow problem. You see that? He's just sort of holding it in at 45 degrees.
You couldn't give that decision if you were the referee, because it looked a hard but fair challenge. You'd be disappointed if you were a Spurs fan or the Spurs manager and the goal got disallowed for that. There'd be uproar.
Well, now, finally, we do see Dejan Kulusevski on loan from Juventus coming on for his Premier League debut in the second half and taking the place of Lucas Moura. And he is the new number 21. He's going to play on the right-hand side, and he's immediately won a free kick. And he's saying that Perraud's almost pulled the new shirt off his back.
Welcome to the Premier League, 'cause that's what you're going to get.
So Dejan Kulusevski, Swedish international despite the name. He's got Macedonian parents, but experienced Swedish international, 20 caps. He is just 21 years old. Tottenham 2, Southampton 1. And Spurs clearing the ball away downfield, and it's headed back to Fraser Forster, who's got to be quick out to the edge of his penalty area. But Southampton fans, I mean, they're in that lower tier to our left, around the corner flag. They must be wondering, not only how are we losing this, how are we not winning it?
You see it though every time, don't you? If the team on top in the first half doesn't take the chances, you're always liable to get beat in the second half. It always happens.
Tottenham coming forward. Son Heung-min, who is fouled. That's his leg taken away from him, so a free kick for Spurs. That's a yellow card for Oriol Romeu, who shakes his head, but it is definitely a free kick.
The substitution that Conte made bringing Bentancur has changed this game, because he has got on the ball and he's made Tottenham play. He has hit forward passes. He's hit forward passes through lines, which he didn't do before.
Southampton though break away, and it is Breuer who carries it to the edge of the area, into the box, shoots over the crossbar. Tried to do it all himself. He had Adams there available, but it opened up for him, but the shot over the top.
It was Harry Winks who gave him the ball. He just passed the ball back, and Breuer went forward. He could have took the ball a bit further. It's actually good defending, because he shows him one way. I think it was Ben Davies who did well, but he's still got to hit the target. A poor pass by Winks, but now I want to see Winks keep on getting on the ball. Show me you can get on the ball and play as well as Bentancur can.
It was Perraud, by the way, who's yellow carded for that foul on on Son in the centre circle. Tottenham 2, Southampton 1. Back to Bournemouth, Chris Wise.
Well, maybe it is going to be Bournemouth's week after all, because despite being down to 10 men, they lead Birmingham City by 3 goals to 1. Jadon Anthony with a breezy run, a lucky deflection taking it back into his path, a fine finish, and it's Bournemouth 3, Birmingham City 1.
Reading have got a goal back, a penalty from John Swift, his 9th goal of the season. Bristol City 2, Reading 1 now. How are things going in the second half at Villa Park, Lee Blakeman?
Still Aston Villa 3, Leeds United 2. The first half was a classic. The second half has started in exactly the same way. Luca Dean should have made it 4 for Villa seconds ago. A fizzer straight across the face of goal as Ollie Watkins nearly gets in on the act here. Goalkeeper comes and smothers it. Great game. Difficult to call which way the next goal's going to go. Aston Villa 3, Leeds United 2.
8 o'clock kick-off. Commentary online via the BBC Sport website and app. We might well catch the closing stages of that, as we did of the Burnley match last night on 5 Live Sports. Still Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City now 2-0 up on Brentford after that De Bruyne goal. Southampton 2-1 down here. Ward-Prowse swings over a cross, and the header is in! El Yunusi, 8 yards out. How on earth he managed to find himself in that position? But he headed it down, it bounced in, and Southampton are level at 2-2.
Another cross at the box. They haven't stopped crosses all day long. We said it from the start, and Emerson Royal and Sanchez are having words with each other. Someone's got to pick him up. Just go and get against him. Be hard to beat. It's just he runs in between Sanchez and Royal, not unmarked, and buries it in the back of the net. Lack of communication, but a great header.
It was. In the 80th minute, Southampton 2-2, and you cannot say they don't deserve that.
100% they deserve it, because they've been outstanding all game. They do deserve the goal, but they've kept on going. The wide men have got in the box. They've deserved it, they really have.
And now it's Ralph Hasenhüttl who's doing the big celebration down in the technical area, and Antonio Conte standing grim-faced with his arms crossed. And it feels, and we can see as well, that conversation going on between the Tottenham central defenders, and they are asking themselves the question, how did that happen?
There's been no communication all night between the pair of them. There has to be communication. Defenders talk. It can make your life so much easier if you speak to the partner who's next to you.
And as you mentioned, Jonathan, the cross from Ward-Prowse from the right. He really wrapped his foot around it, as they always used to say.
He's known for that. He's a dead ball specialist, but when the ball got rolled back to him, it was only going in one area.
Yeah, signed a new contract before the start of the season. There was interest. There was a bid, wasn't there, from Aston Villa last summer.
For me, he's very underrated.
You feel that he could certainly operate in a Champions League club. Stuart Armstrong, ball to the edge of the penalty area. Here he is again. Ward-Prowse with his neat hair swept to one side, damp in the rain. Cross from Perrault, that's good, but it's headed away by Ben Davis. Just got to it. Walker-Peters again on the right-hand side. The goal's invigorated Southampton. Ward-Prowse with a head, the cross, and it's headed in by Adams. They're 3-2 up now. Another superb cross by Ward-Prowse, and this time it's Shea Adams on the end of it, and now Southampton lead by 3-2.
The delivery from James Ward-Prowse is out of this world. Kevin De Bruyne-esque, David Beckham-esque, and again the ball goes into the back post, and who's marking him? Absolutely no one. 3-2, Southampton lead.
Tottenham 2, Southampton 3, and it's all happened at that end where all of the Southampton fans are. They've yet to win in this stadium, and indeed they've lost every time they've been to the newly rebuilt home of Tottenham Hotspur. But with 8 minutes to play, they might be going to win this one. And Tottenham now facing their first home league defeat under Antonio Conte's management, and he's making a change immediately. Reguilon is off, and it is Steven Bergwijn who is coming on. Back to Villa Park, Lee Blakeman.
Equaliser for Leeds. Llorente's drilled it in at the back post. Mess of it from Villa, a real mess, but it has gone off in the away end. What a game. Llorente has brought Leeds level. Aston Villa 3, Leeds United 3 in an absolute classic.
What a night. What a dramatic night it's turning into. It's not just the FA Cup that has the drama in February 2022. The Premier League living up to expectations this evening, and indeed not just the Premier League, because it's back to Bramall Lane and Naz Premji.
Sheffield United 2, West Brom 0. It's that man again, John, Billy Sharp, with a super effort into the top corner. This game is over. It was over when they went down to 10 men, West Brom. Sheffield United 2, West Brom 0.
Southampton winning a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area. Tottenham trying to thread the ball through. Kane to Bergwijn, but it is a free kick to Southampton, who are trying to hold the ball, but referee Coote is too cute not to be aware of what they're doing, and it's a free kick.
A big thing in football, and a big thing as a defender, is learn from your mistakes. Marking to pick someone up, a yellow shirt, get against them. 2 balls coming in the space of 3 minutes and 2 free headers. Get against someone, any young centre-half, marking the box. Absolutely terrible defending.
So Tottenham 2, Southampton 3, and it is Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 2, Brentford 0, Aston Villa 3, Leeds 3 now, as we heard from Lee. If you want to hear that right now, it's on BBC Sport website and app. Celtic still 3-2 up at Aberdeen, Rangers winning 2-0 against Hibs. So we have just over 5 minutes to play here. Tottenham send it forward, but Salisu will head it back to Forster. More Premier League commentary tomorrow night. Liverpool and Leicester on 5 Live. Wolves Arsenal on Sports Extra. Everton Leeds is the 3 o'clock commentary with Ian Dennis on Saturday afternoon. And Sunday night we've got the Super Bowl for you. Vernon Kay is presenting our coverage of the Super Bowl, 11 o'clock on Sunday night. So here we go. Hold on tight. I'm not sure what might happen next in this game. Bergwijn over on the left-hand side. In comes the challenge, and it's out of play. Salisu putting it in. He was appealing for it. There'll be lots to pick out from this one. We'll try and bring you the live interviews as well before 5 Live Sport ends tonight at 10:30. If you missed them there, then they'll be on the Football Daily podcast. Then there's a foul on the halfway line by Breuer on Winks. Free kick. Tottenham take it quickly. Tottenham facing defeat here. Ball played up towards Kane. Then Kulusevski is picked up for a foul on Perrault, and it's a free kick.
The pressing from Southampton. Again, we see it from Ward-Prowse and Romeo in the centre of that pitch against Winks. The pressure they were putting them under. He's given the ball away a couple of times now, high Winks, from the pressure of Ward-Prowse, from the pressure of Romeo. Really getting in amongst them. 85th minute of the game, still wanting to press, being aggressive.
Let's not forget, last month Tottenham were losing with 4 minutes 52 seconds of added time played at Leicester and won the game. Here's Perrault going down the left wing. Across comes Kulusevski, but Perrault's done well. He's got the cross in. Lloris comes and gets a punch, and he had to. Breuer was putting himself in there again, despite that battering, despite that knock that he took. He's you wouldn't know it. Long ball forward for Tottenham. Bednarek heads it forward. Bednarek started the ball rolling tonight, scored an own goal. Tottenham took the lead. Southampton came back to equalise. Breuer scored in the first half. Son put Tottenham 2-1 up in the second half. That was a really well-worked goal by Tottenham, but Southampton were unhappy about a challenge on Breuer in the build-up to it. But then Elyounoussi and Che Adams scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes means it is Tottenham 2, Southampton 3. And the man who might have scored the winning goal, Che Adams, is making way, and he's going to be replaced by... Now, who is it he's going to be replaced by? Shane Long, who's coming on, the veteran, 35 years old. Shane Long trotting onto the field here. And Che Adams is...
been very good, Che Adams.
Yeah, he's very good. Being applauded off. Ralph Hasenhüttl gives him a big slap on the back. And Tottenham with the ball inside their own half. Ball played across the back line. Emerson Royal receives it, passes it forward, but that will bounce off Kulusevski and out of play for a throw into Southampton on the halfway line.
If we went to the game on Saturday, John, if you look at Emerson Royal and Jed Spence, you'd think Jed Spence was worth what Tottenham paid for Emerson Royal without question. We've seen 2 full-backs, wing-backs at the weekend, and Jed Spence has been head and shoulders.
Well, maybe there's a lesson there, not just for Tottenham, but for many football clubs, many Premier League clubs. Ball at the back with Lloris. Long and left-footed from him. Kane tries to flick it on. He does. Bounces to Son. Son now racing, attacking the penalty area. Salisu's with him. He's gone down in the box. Perrault came across with a challenge. The referee's having none of that as a potential penalty. Still Southampton with it. Elyounoussi turns and clears left-footed. That's headed forward by Emerson Royal. Then Bentancur. Emerson Royal under pressure from Romeo. He's given it away. Here's Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse, who brilliantly set up goals number 2 and 3 for Southampton. Long ball forward from him. And Christian Romero deals with that and comes away from Breuer. We'll have the interviews live from pitch side. George Cummins is just setting off now with his long interview poll, which will be placed in front of Ralph Hasenhüttl and Antonio Conte. I mean, the reaction of the 2 managers as Ralph Hasenhüttl now is calling for his next substitute, Theo Walcott, who is getting the call. And he's coming on to replace Armando Breuer. Well, he's been heavily involved in it tonight. Breuer scoring Southampton's first goal. The way he was clattered, his general all-round play. And he walks off the field now to replace by Walcott.
Led the line so well tonight. Led it well, took it into his chest. Great feet, has a turn. To be fair, he could have had a few more goals, but what an outstanding display from a young centre-forward. They've done really well to get him on loan from Chelsea this season. A great bit of business for them.
Yeah, be very interested to see what happens to his career over the coming years. This young Albanian international, born in Slough, but Albanian parents, and already really 10 caps for Albania. So up he goes. 6 minutes of added time. Well, we've had another exciting game to watch, Jonathan, in the space of a few days, you and I. City Ground to the Tottenham Stadium.
Can't beat goals, John, can you? You can't beat these goals.
5 goals on Sunday, 5 goals tonight.
When's the next one?
When's the next one? Well, you're going to be with us for the Carabao Cup final, aren't you, at the end of the month? Which I'm not sure it'll provide 5 goals, but you never know.
You never know.
Southampton with Perrault, long and left-footed, forward towards Shane Long, who tries to draw the foul and then is challenged by Emerson Royale. Might have had 2 fouls there. Referee Coote says no, neither of them. Throw in. Here's Harry Kane. They've not given this up. 6 minutes of added time, and we are well into that now. Salisu, though, is able to win possession back for Southampton from Kulusevski. Then Davinson Sanchez. That might have been a foul on Shane Long. Kane takes it up near the edge of the box, gives it to the right. Kulusevski with a cross, couldn't beat the first defender, comes back to Kulusevski with his left foot. Here's Bentancur, shoots straight into the diving body of Romeo.
What a block. That's, do you know what? That sums him up. Romeo, what a block.
Yes, it was. We talked about Barry Manilow. That was a Clint Eastwood style dive in the line of fire. Here is Bentancur with a cross. It's over the top of Kane, bounces back, and then it's hooked away by Salisu. Shot on the edge of the area by Davis. It's blocked as well and bounces away, and Stuart Armstrong will lift it forward towards Shane Long. But Tottenham have got it back again. 2 minutes of added time play. Oh, Emerson Royale was caught there, but the ball has found its way to Kulusevski. Kulusevski, square. 3-2 Southampton lead for Tottenham now. It's almost last gasp. Ball on the left-hand side. Son twists onto his right foot. Son scored for Spurs tonight. He's now scored in 5 consecutive league matches for Tottenham. Cross from the left-hand side. That's headed away. Theo Walcott's after it, but Bentancur gets there first. And there is a penalty at Blackburn. Stephen Wyatt.
And a chance for Nottingham Forest to make sure of a 7th win in 10 and a place in the top 6 in the Championship. Brennan Johnson has placed the ball on the spot, and Brennan Johnson has scored to make it Blackburn Rovers 0, Nottingham Forest 2.
Tottenham make it 3-3. Bergwijn in the 6-yard box. The cross from the left, a deep one. The Christian Romero headed back across. And Steven Bergwijn, almost under his feet, was able to finish it. He's the man who scored the 2 late goals against Leicester. He scored in added time again here tonight to make it Tottenham 3, Southampton 3.
Could he be offside? Could he be offside? They're going to have a look, John, I think. They're going to have a look. I think he's offside.
Oh, he is offside. They are looking at this. And this is going to be disappointment for Bergwijn and for Tottenham. We're just waiting for the decision. Referee Coote is walking forward. There's the rectangle in the air. The goal is ruled out. And there's the Southampton cheer for the VAR offside decision. It's ruled out, and it's still Tottenham 2, Southampton 3.
Southampton fans, look at them now. They are going absolutely mental to our left. That is the thing with VAR. That's the thing, Spurs fans. We're jumping around, they'd scored, they'd equalised. Now Southampton know they're in the lead again.
And that is the drama that VAR can provide. And it's the right decision.
It is the right decision. He was, I'd say, a yard offside. It's the right decision at the end of the day.
Yep. Here's Walcott. Southampton looking for a 4th. Shane Long on his right foot, 25 yards out. Gives it back to Romeo. I make it, we're in the 5th minute of added time. 3-2 Southampton lead. Still Manchester City 2-0 up. Romeo inside the penalty area. Clips it across, took a deflection into the gloves of Lloris. Still Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1. And it is still Aston Villa 3, Leeds 3. Celtic still 3-2 up at Aberdeen. Rangers winning 2-0 against Hibernian. We'll round up all of the full-time scores once the whistles start to go. But this drama here has been relentless from start almost to finish.
It's been a great game, an absolute top, full of energy, chances, pressing, tackles, everything you want in a Premier League game.
And what a performance from Southampton. This would be only their 3rd win away from home in the Premier League this season, the first time they've won in this newly rebuilt stadium, and they might be in the top half of the table tonight. But disappointment for Spurs. Bergwijn plays it to the edge of the area. That's cleared away. Romeo is there, and Ralph Hasenhüttl is getting his final change ready to eat up a few more seconds of this match. Ibrahima Diallo is waiting to come onto the field. Tottenham have to get it forward. They thought they'd made it 3-3. This might be the final attack. I think we're in the last minute now, the last minute of the sixth. Here's Kulusevski, he's away from El Yunusi, plays it into the edge of the box. A turn from Christian Romero inside the box, who's been sent up, but he couldn't get the better of Perrault, who turned and put it out of play for a throw. The referee says, wait, here's the change. Southampton hoping that this is going to see them over the line. El Yunusi, who scored that header to make it 2-2, is going to walk as slowly as he can off the field, Jonathan.
You don't blame him. You don't blame him. He's played very well. He's played very well. Down that left-hand side all game. He's been difficult for Emerson Royal to really get up against him. Hasn't stopped enough crosses. Alayusi's just been whipping and passing nearly all game, and he's done very well. It's been a fantastic performance by South. They fully deserve their lead and this result so far.
Yep, don't miss match of the day tonight. The editor's fingers will be whirring trying to get 5 minutes out of this. There are only seconds left. Tottenham take the throw. Looked like a foul throw actually, but it's been allowed to continue. Son gets it from Emerson Royal. Left-footed cross. That's headed away by Salisu. Bentancur heads it back over the top. Tottenham headed away. It's bounced to Kane on the left-hand side. Southampton are saying how much time left. Kane whips it in. Forster comes and pats it down. Catches it as it bounces up. Drops to his front, and those Southampton fans can celebrate victory inside the Tottenham Stadium. What a match! And Ralph Hasenhüttl actually comes across with his palms apart, and he almost, you can see him saying to Antonio Conte, what about that? And Antonio Conte, a brief handshake, and he disappears away down the tunnel. But it's Southampton's night, and over the piece, I think they deserve it, Jonathan.
Yeah, what a game of football, but you can't knock Southampton. Getting beat 1-0, coming back to win the game 3-2. Honestly, the performance of some of them Southampton players was phenomenal. The two centre midfielders were extraordinary. The amount of work they got in, the two goals that James Ward-Prowse set up, they were absolutely brilliant. They were top draw, and what a performance. What a top-class performance from every single one of them.
Well, it was a Premier League match that felt like a cup tie. Tottenham led 1-0 through the Bednarek own goal. Breuer made it 1-1. Tottenham, controversially really, went 2-1 up through Son in the second half, but then those two goals in 2 minutes from El Yunusi and Adams, from brilliant crosses from Ward-Prowse. That's won it. It's finished Tottenham 2, Southampton 3.
Fantastic performance from Southampton, a fantastic game, Jonathan. Really, really entertaining stuff. In terms of the league table, doesn't do much for Southampton, who go up into 10th place from 12th. But Tottenham is a real missed opportunity for them. Is this a summation, really, of the frailties that they have that could stop them qualifying for Europe?
Yeah, this is where they're at the minute. Antonio Conte will be scratching his head. An Italian manager normally build the foundations on strong defence. Defenders wanting to mark in the box. There was no one anywhere near the last two goals. No one getting against someone, making it hard for them. They just waltzed in and scored. Honestly, you should see the defender, and that's what I'm saying about Conte. He will be on that training pitch this week, next week, for the rest of the season, working on that defence, because they need some real work into them.
Jonathan Woodgate, for now, thank you very much to you and John Murray. We'll be back with you, Jonathan, between 10 and 10:30, when we'll have reaction to everything that has happened this evening in the Premier League, where Manchester City have gone 12 points clear of second place Liverpool with a win at the Etihad. Gary Flintoff.
And deservedly so, Kelly. Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Riyad Mahrez's first half penalty and Kevin De Bruyne's sharp finish after an error by the Brentford goalkeeper David Raya, sealing the points for the champions. And to be fair to Brentford, they tried to play their football, but errors cost them in the end, and there's no question they missed the injured Ivan Toney. And Thomas Frank will hope his striker's calf strain will clear up in time for Saturday's crucial home game against Crystal Palace. As for City, they travel to Norwich next with an embarrassment of riches fit and available. £100 million man Jack Grealish eventually introduced from the bench after 67 minutes. It's finished Manchester City 2, Brentford 0.
Gary, thank you very much for that. Michael Brown, part of our commentary team at the Etihad. He'll join us as well between 10 and 10:30. Meanwhile, at Carrow Road, Norwich missed the chance to climb out of the relegation places. Aaron Paul.
They did. What a cracker it was, Kelly. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1 is how it finished. Teemu Pukki opened the scoring inside the first minute in a dream start for the home side. The Palace clambered back into the game and dominated. They did, though, need a bit of magic from Wilfred Zaha to bring themselves level. Cutting in on the left onto his right boot, he found the top corner past the flying Angus Gunn and could have had a second, but fired a penalty wide after stumbling on his run-up. The point bigger for Norwich than for Palace. They, however, remain a point off of Newcastle and still in the bottom three. Full-time at Carrow Road. Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1.
It's as you were at the top of the Scottish Premiership, but there were nervy moments for Celtic at Aberdeen. Kenny Crawford.
They sure were, Kelly. Aberdeen 2, Celtic 3. Celtic remain 1 point clear at the top, but boy, were they made to work for their win at Pittodrie. The first half was smooth for the visitors, Jota scoring from close range before Matt O'Reilly's deflected strike made it 2-0 to Celtic. But after the break, Aberdeen came out swinging. American striker Christian Ramirez got his 14th of the season with a fine low finish. Then Lewis Ferguson glanced in an equaliser from Funzo Ojo's free kick to send the home crowd wild. The Dons were only level for 60 seconds though as Jota's downward strike bounced up into the top corner despite cries of offside by the hosts. His 10th of the campaign for the Portuguese striker. So Celtic made to sweat as they recorded their 8th win in a row. Aberdeen 2, Celtic 3.
Rangers stay within a point of the league leaders. Roddy Forsyth.
Rangers 2, Hibs 0 at a snowy Raw Ibrox. James Tavernier putting them ahead with a penalty kick after only 5 minutes when Ryan Kent had been brought down by Paul McGinn. It stayed that way at half-time, looking a little edgy, and then Morelos settled it when he was allowed to go free inside the box to make it 2-0. At that point it was learned from Pittodrie that Celtic had conceded an equaliser to Aberdeen. There were mighty anthems of celebration at Ibrox. They lasted only a minute till Jota's goal came through, and then Rangers had a slightly awkward ending to the game that required McGregor to make a big save from Chris Cadden, but they stay within a point of Celtic. Hibs, though, haven't won in 6 league games since the winter break. It's tough for Sean Maloney.
Thank you very much, Roddy. Into the EFL and in the Championship. Big win for Bournemouth. Chris Wise.
Yeah, Boreham Wood memories banished. Bournemouth back into the Championship top 2. They've beaten Birmingham City 3-1 on a frantic night in Dorset. They were 2-0 up at half-time. Christian Solanke with first-half goals. Both of those players excellent for Bournemouth tonight. The game threatened to change its course after the hour. Jefferson Lerma was sent off. 3rd red card for Bournemouth in 13 months for him. And then Anel Hernandez, who got him sent off because it was the challenge on him, then scored via a deflection off Nat Phillips. But Jayden Anthony made sure with 13 minutes to go to make it 3-1. Scott Parker got the response he wanted. Back-to-back defeats for Lee Bowyer's Birmingham City. Bournemouth 3, Birmingham 1.
And Blackburn move into 3rd place behind Bournemouth now after defeat at home to Nottingham Forest. Stephen Wyeth.
Yes, indeed, Forest winning 2-0. This again, Kelly, to sum up how momentum has shifted for these promotion contenders. Forest riding the surge in their favour. James Garner's lovely first-half goal set them on their way to now 21 points from the last 30 available. And any thoughts Rovers had of avoiding a 3rd defeat in 5, further hampered by a red card for their captain, Dara Lenihan. There was greater ferocity in the game and the atmosphere from that moment, but no equaliser, and a 90th minute penalty gave Brennan Johnson the opportunity to secure Forest's deserved victory. Both sides now in the playoff places. For Forest, that represents huge progress. For Rovers, a worrying decline. Rovers 0, Forest 2 is how it finished.
Significant win for Sheffield United against West Bromwich Albion. Naz Premji.
Absolutely, Sheffield United 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. Steve Bruce's first game in charge ends in defeat for Albion. Billy Sharp with a lovely turn and shot, took a deflection on its way in for 1-0. Jake Livermore sent off for a really horrible tackle on Conor Horan, straight red. And then Billy Sharp in the second half with a lovely effort into the top corner. Sam Johnston beaten, all ends up. This result means 4 wins on the spin for Paul Heckingbottom's side. They are 1 point off the top 6. Plenty to ponder though for Steve Bruce. It's Sheffield United 2, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Elsewhere in the Championship, Bristol City beat Reading by 2-1. Cardiff put 4 past Peterborough in that 4-0 victory, and it finished goalless between Preston and Huddersfield. One game still taking place this evening in the Premier League, and it's been a cracker so far. For the last 5 minutes or so, we can go to Villa Park for Villa against Leeds with Stephen Kelly and John Akers.
he never seems to lose it. He's strong, he's gangly, but he manipulates the ball really well, and he's found some really good passes.
McGinn into the feet of Ramsey. Ramsey's got Cash with him, but checks back inside. Goes to McGinn on halfway. McGinn's under pressure from Forshaw. He's got fresh legs and is ratting about. McGinn's done really well. Used that backside to great effect. Rolls the ball in towards Watkins. Strips off a Leeds player corner.
Absolutely fantastic play from John McGinn. He spins here on the inside, gets his body across his man, finds the pass. He's under so much pressure, but he's able to deal with it and then still find the pass at the end of it.
Corner for Aston Villa. Are we going to see the change now? They don't like doing it, do they, from an opposing corner, making a substitution.
It looks like Danny Ings is coming on as well, you can see on the bench.
Yeah, he's stripped and ready, isn't he? So corner for Villa. 3.5 minutes to go, 3-3. Dean whips it in, far post, comfortable for Meslier, the Leeds goalkeeper. Then he goes down under an unnecessary straight arm from Konsa. He gets a yellow and then a red. What a way to finish from Konsa that is. I mean, completely unnecessary. His second booking. And Meslier still down on the deck, clutching his mouth. And Villa are down to 10 men with 3 minutes plus added time to go.
It seems like a crazy challenge, but I want to see it back to see how much contact he actually made with him.
So we've had a red card here, and it's Konsa with a challenge on Meslier, with the score at 3-3. Villa and Leeds.
It seems crazy. He looks like he's just gone an elbow in the face. There's not loads of power on it, but it seems like a ridiculously stupid thing to do at this point in a game. Like, there's no need for it whatsoever. He has actually caught with his elbow, and the goalkeeper's just trying to play a quick pass.
Well, this game's pretty much had everything. It's been incredible. Leeds took the lead through Dan James. Really nice low finish with his right foot into the far corner. No chance for Martinez. Then it was the Coutinho show. It really was incredible from the little Brazilian. He scored with his first chance, amazing first touch, and then a right foot shot across the goalkeeper, Meslier, and into the far corner. And then he set up Jacob Ramsey twice with 2-inch perfect through balls. Ramsey finishing the first one with his left foot, nice composure, and the second one on his right foot, smashed it into the top corner. James then got another one. All this is before half-time. James then got another one, a header after a corner, squeezed it over the line, and that was 3-2 at half-time. As we're going to see a change here. It's going to be Jacob Ramsey coming off, and we're going to see Callum Chambers make his debut for Aston Villa after signing in the window, and he comes on and will take his place at the centre of defence. So they've mixed things up here. The first half, Stephen Kelly, who's alongside me, former Republic of Ireland international, was one of the best halves of football I've ever seen.
Oh, it was sensational. It was just so entertaining, so good to watch. The quality on show, the amount of passing made. Coutinho was just unplayable at times. Ayling didn't know where to stick or twist with his movement, the quality of the finishes. But then Leeds just stuck at it. Dan James, his movement, his running, his energy, you know, getting that header in when he didn't even deserve to get it. Just what a wonderful first half of football.
And then in the second half, Llorente with a left foot finish after Mings failed to clear, but Mings had cleared off the line just before that. Are we going to find a winner? It's the 10 men of Aston Villa who've got possession at the moment near the halfway line, and Luiz goes down clutching his face, and then a challenge from Cash, and his players rolling about all over the place, and there's a yellow card for Matty Cash for that challenge, and now some pushing and shoving between Cash and Rafinha, Stephen.
Cash's was a tasty challenge. He's gone in with a lot of pace on it, and it maybe is still slightly high, but you know, we saw a challenge in the first half between Mings and Ayling. Like, he's won the ball. It's the follow through that gets booked for. He kicks his legs out, and that's where you see the Leeds bench are up on arms because he's followed through with his back left foot, so you can see why it's a booking.
3-3. We've hit the 90th minute. Did you see the board go up, Stephen?
No, I didn't, because we were talking about, like I said, there's so much has happened. There's so many people on the pitch, bodies strewn everywhere again. It just seems to be one of those games that it's been frantic throughout every part of the game, and another challenge is thrown in.
So, the upshot of all that is that I think it's going to be a free kick for Leeds, just near the halfway line on the left-hand side. Can they find a winner? They have taken part in some game of football. So I don't know if we've seen how much stoppage time yet, Stephen, have we? I think in all that, because there was a fracas. Is James coming off? Anyway, let's just concentrate on the football, because the ball is in play. Koch and now Ayling on the far side. For Leeds United, tries to play in Forshaw, intercepted by Dean, and he will clear from the corner flag on the left. And now we see the board, and it's 8 minutes of added time at the end of the game on 5 Live. This could be interesting.
Oh, another bad tackle there. This game has officially had everything. It was 8 minutes of added time.
And that was Young, who's come on as a substitute, Ashley Young for Villa, on Llorente, who isn't happy about it and lets him know. So it's a free kick for Leeds, 15 yards inside the Villa half, on the right-hand side. Villa 3, Leeds 3. We've had 1.5 of the 8 minutes of added time. Earlier it was Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Norwich 1, Palace 1. And Leeds still waiting to take this free kick, and they've thrown everyone forward. Only Meslier in the Leeds half at the moment. In it comes. It's fallen to Harrison. Harrison whips one in. Rafinha's there. Gets a header on it. Does he? No. It came off a Villa head, says the referee, who's Jared Gillett, and it's going to be a corner for Leeds United on the far side in front of their travelling supporters in the Doug Ellis stand.
Harrison has whipped the ball in there into Rafinha's head, and John McGinn has just come flying out of nowhere to make the most unbelievable defensive header to get across his man. What a bit of determined defending from John McGinn.
Corner for Leeds on the far side. It's going to be Stuart Dallas, right-footed. In it comes. Looks like good delivery. Llorente goes up. Scorer of their equaliser at 3-3. They've recycled the ball here, Leeds, and they've got it through Forshaw. And now Harrison, loads of room, loads of players in the box. Left-footed cross. It's over everyone. And it's dribbled out of play, and it'll be a very welcome throw-in for Aston Villa. They now look the team. They've looked like the team who are going to win for most of this match. And now they look like the team who might well lose it in added time. They had a belter at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well for John Murray. Tottenham 2, Southampton 3 with Bergwijn with that disallowed goal late. Norwich 1, Palace 1's finished. And in the Championship, Bournemouth beat Birmingham 3-1. Great win for Forest at Blackburn 2-0. Bristol City 2, Reading 1. Cardiff 4, Peterborough 0. 0-0 between Preston and Huddersfield. All these finished. QPR 2-2 as a strong challenge goes in. Villa fans on the far side thought it was a free kick. Leeds have possession. Mings clears away. And now it's with Louise with a ball over the top, looking for Chukwuemeka, the 18-year-old substitute. But Pack goes running strike. And you know when you're so tired that you're sprinting and you fall forwards? I once did it in the dad's race on Sports Day. That's what happened to Stroik there. We've had, I reckon, 6 players go down with cramp in the last 10 minutes. Ball forward for Rafinha. Can he keep it in? Can't. Poor first touch. Rafinha's been slightly off it since getting back from international duty. Scored versus Paraguay a week ago. He has been slightly off it.
Yeah, slightly. And, you know, I think his quality delivery from set plays from his corners were just not as good as what you normally expect from him, or what we normally see from him. But he's still a threat, and he's still a player that when they get the ball to him, Villa are worried about him because they know how much quality he has.
5 Live Sport. More Premier League commentaries than anyone else, and we've brought you all of them tonight. We've got more for you tomorrow on 5 Live as well. 5 Live Sport from 7 o'clock. But here we are not done with tonight yet. Aston Villa 3, Leeds 3, one of the games of the season so far. Sheffield United beat West Brom by 2-0, and QPR 2, Middlesbrough 2. Long goal kick sent high from Martinez. Villa try not to lose it. Send the ball forward. Meslier comes out, the 21-year-old Frenchman, all in orange, and bowls it out. Left-handed, like Alan Mullally. And now it's on the halfway line with Ayling, who got rinsed by Coutinho for an hour. I mean, he's so glad he went off, Luke Ayling. And they've won a throw-in on the far side, Leeds United. He did him with a turn on halfway that you just have to watch. It was just sensational. Coutinho was unbelievable. Get him in your fantasy teams. Here's Harrison on the left. Lovely little ball. Dallas, loads of Leeds players in the box. Hero block from Louise. Hero block.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Again, Louise there, seeing the danger, driving forward. Dallas is driving into the box, and as he tries to pull it back, Louise comes out of nowhere, gets his block in. The same as McGinn before. 2 midfielders putting in a shift.
Corner going to be taken by Rafinha, and it comes. Headed away by Tyrone Mings. We've got 3 minutes of the 8 added remaining, and Leeds are throwing everything at Aston Villa trying to find a winner. 3-3 on 5 Live. Chip ball to the left-hand side to Rafinha. 4 in the middle waiting for a cross. It's a good-looking ball, spun to the far side. What a good claim from Martinez. He doesn't need to fall over, but he does, to try and waste a bit of time. He's now pointing at his left knee. Very clever from the Argentinian.
I think he's claiming he has cramp as well. It's from a goalkeeper.
He can't.
Yeah, he can't possibly. He can't possibly.
Goalkeepers aren't allowed to get cramp. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's still down on the deck, though. He's clutching his left thigh. Right, Stephen, we're going to play a game. How many shots in the game do you think Villa have had? Come on, mate.
On target or just shots?
Just shots.
Just shots. 10.
12. Good effort. And what about Leeds?
8.
16. What? 16 shots as Watkins chases after a bit of a lost cause, and Leeds win possession. And Rafinha wins it on the halfway line. Spins, twists, turns, fouls. Chukwuemeka. I'd be surprised if that's not a yellow card. Ball kicked away by McGinn, who gets a yellow. So no yellow card. He's had his work cut out tonight, the referee, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I think it may have been Rodrigo that smashed away in Leeds, yeah. And he's just got the yellow card for it. But it's like, listen, the energy, the franticness, both these teams have gone at it like toe to toe the whole game. It's been feisty. Some of the tackles have been slightly dangerous, but it's been so entertaining.
Leeds' 4,000th league game will be one the travelling supporters in the Doug Ellis won't forget, and that is the Villa fans trying to get behind their team for one last effort. We've got 30 seconds of added time remaining. Mings wins a header on the far side, put out of play. Might be one more chance left in this game on 5 Live. We've got a throw in here for Aston Villa, and the Rory Delap towels out for Matty Cash. Cash wipes the ball. He's going to launch it in there. Mings has made his way forward. Could we have a dramatic twist for the 10 men of Aston Villa at the end of this one? Cash gets ready to take it. It will, you think, be the last action of the game. In it comes from Cash. It's huge. Comes off Chukwuemeka's back. Leeds come up with the ball with Ayling, but Villa have won it back. Into the box it goes towards Mings. Cleared away, and that's it. What a game of football. It finishes honours even. 3-3. It's been a terrific advert for the Premier League on a top night of Premier League on 5 Live and the BBC Sport website. Stephen Kelly.
It has been. It's been wonderful. Honestly, if it had been a goal from a long throw, we really would have seen everything in the game. It's been end to end. It's been frantic. The players are out on their feet. Coutinho was magnificent for the time he was on the pitch. Ayling was delighted to see the back of him. You know, you talked about the goals. I wouldn't have expected Leeds to have that many shots. I just didn't think it was that, because I felt like Villa were more in control of the game. But Villa will be kicking themselves from going from 3-1 up to get the goals away like they did defensively. They should have done better. And to
it's
lose
22
those
hours.
points, they'd be good with themselves. But what a fantastic testament, what a fantastic game. And those players are just out on their feet.
You glad you got the call for this one?
Absolutely delighted. Seriously, delighted.
It's been brilliant. Steven Gerrard just shaking hands out there on the pitch at the moment. He'll see it as 2 points thrown away, I'm sure. When they were 3-1 up, they were, well, you can never say they were in control, because Leeds just kept throwing everything at Aston Villa. But it's been a super game of football as the Leeds players go across to the away support, who were magnificent. Everyone is out on their feet. The break seemingly did everyone good in this one, and it finished on 5 Live Sport. Aston Villa 3, Leeds United 3.
John Akers, Stephen Kelly. For now, thank you very much. Stephen's going to stay with us between 10 and 10:30, because I don't think many people want this evening to end. Villa 3, Leeds 3. Fantastic game at Villa Park. It finished 3-2 to Southampton at Tottenham. Manchester City have gone 12 points clear at the top of the table, and Norwich were leading 1-0 to go out of the relegation places, but Palace equalised at Carrow Road. We will have all the reaction to that with Stephen, with Jonathan Woodgate, with Michael Brown, all coming back to digest what's been a brilliant night in the Premier League. We'll get all of that after the news with Tim Steer.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Boris Johnson has said he hopes to lift all remaining COVID rules in England by the end of this month, a month earlier than planned. He said the move would include scrapping the legal obligation to self-isolate after a positive test. these people had a mixed reaction to the news.
If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. It's as simple as that. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. I think everyone sort of, the club's got to a stage where we know the risk and we have to get on with the rest of our lives.
I love that we've got a lot of our freedom back, and I want to, you know, enjoy that. But at the same time, it's important to be cautious, I think, still.
The Prime Minister's surprise announcement came as another photo emerged of him at a lockdown gathering in Downing Street. Labour said he was trying to dig himself out of a political hole. Metropolitan Police say officers investigating alleged breaches of COVID-19 regulations in number 10 and Whitehall will begin contacting more than 50 people by the end of the week to get their accounts. The Charity Commission says it is reviewing the accounts of the foundation set up by the family of Sir Captain Tom Moore, who raised more than £30 million for NHS charities during the first year of the pandemic. The accounts published by the foundation show that in its first year it spent more on running costs than it paid out in grants. The foundation said that as a young charity, it was working closely with the regulator and welcomed its input. Adidas has dropped its sponsorship of Kurt Zouma following widespread condemnation of the West Ham footballer's treatment of one of his pet cats. Zouma apologised after video emerged of him dropping, kicking and slapping one of the animals. His two cats have now been taken into the care of the RSPCA, and the club has fined him 2 weeks' wages. And scientists in Oxfordshire say they've made a breakthrough in the quest for a safe and virtually unlimited source of low-carbon power. The JET laboratory at Culham has broken its own world record for generating energy from a nuclear fusion reaction, recreating here on Earth the energy that powers the sun. The reaction lasted only 5 seconds.
NFL on BBC Radio 5 Live.
This Sunday evening on BBC Radio 5 Live. Join myself, Vernon Kay, Darren Fletcher, Greg Brady and Jack Crawford as we guide you through all the action as the Cincinnati Bengals take on the LA Rams.
Snap, placement, McPherson, kick on the way. It's good! The fairy tale continues.
The Rams, with their veteran QB Matt Stafford, will be looking to win only their second Super Bowl in 5 appearances, and the Bengals, led by quarterback Joe Burrow, are aiming to secure their first ever Super Bowl title.
It's Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles.
Sunday night from 11
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
It's been another busy night of Premier League football filled with plenty of drama. Goals galore at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where it finished Spurs 2, Southampton 3. Southampton scored 2 goals in 2 minutes to turn the scoreline around before Steven Bergwijn was denied a stoppage time winner for Tottenham. He was just offside. It was all go at Villa Park as well. Aston Villa 3, Leeds 3, 5 goals in the first half. Villa went down to 10 men in the dying minutes of that game. Manchester City 12 points clear at the top of the table after beating Brentford 2-0, and Norwich let a 1-0 lead slip to Crystal Palace. That game finished 1-1 at Carrow Road. With me, Jonathan Woodgate, Stephen Kelly and Michael Brown, and we have lots to get through. Let's start though with that game at Spurs. Jonathan, you were there for this one. It was relentless from start to finish. Before we get into it, John Murray, just tell us how it panned out.
Well, ultimately, Southampton got the win they deserved, and Tottenham have lost at home for the first time in the Premier League under Antonio Conte. But what a thriller it was. First, Spurs took the lead through a Bednarek own goal, only for Southampton to quickly equal.